Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back once again with another match that has taken place for Super Rugby Pacific 2022. This one between the Brumbies and the WARATAHs should be a very exciting one. We have got the table that I did just manage to make up, which is why I was just a tad little teeny weeny bit late, unfortunately. But now we have got it here and we will be showing exactly how everyone is sitting at the moment for this matchup. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be able to get the win here? I'll have to move Kieran out of the top corner because he is currently blocking what would be the Crusaders and the Reds points because they are currently both top of the bunch. But the Brumbies, they are currently sitting there on 9 points. The Waratahs sitting there on 6. So whoever wins this game will finish either in second. The Brumbies actually have got the potential. If they win this game comfortably, they will be in first place above of everyone else. So we will have to wait and see. It does end up going easy dub for the Brumbies there, says Captain James. Also, g'day. Is it Fitch? Hopefully I say that correctly. And also hello from Noah. JAs is here in the chat. And also, can you please not give any other results? Or can you please not give any more results? People do go out for a beer, settle kids as well. And there says Shane. So this is just the table. So hopefully that will be all right for that one. And come on, Waratahs in there. And hope the Waratahs take it. I miss the old days when Waratahs was deadly and one of the best. So we'll quickly go like this. And we will go like this as well. We will show you guys the starting lines for both of these sides in this upcoming fixture. That's the Highlanders. That's not who we're after. This one is the Brumbies. Here we go. James Slipper, Falaufainga, and Alan Alatoa. They are going to be the front row. Darcy Swain and Nick Frost will then be the two locks for this game. Rob Valentini at 6, Pete Samu at number 8, and then Jerome Brown will be slotting in there at number 7. Nick White and Noel Alicio going to be there as the 9-10 combo. Ure Samori, Len Ikatel as the 2 midfield combo, and then Andy Muirhead, Tom Wright, and Tom Banks. They are going to be the back 3 for the Brumbies in this matchup. Then for the Waratahs, Angus Bell, Dave Parecki, and Harry Johnson-Holmes as the front row. Jed Holloway and Williams will be there as the locks. Sinclair, Gamble, Charlie Gamble that is, and Will Harris there at number 8. Gordon and Donaldson making up the 2 for 9 and 10. Faketi and Paresi as the centre combo, and then out on one wing, Pitch, out on the other wing, James Turner, and then at number 15, Alex Newsom will be there for this game. Also, we have got there, and I hope the rugby cheers we have. I just finished crying. They were talking about Shane Warne as well. Says Geelong, yeah, it is a pretty rough time at the moment for Australian cricket and just Australia in general in terms of 2 players just pretty much within 24 hours of each other, and Rod Marsh and also Shane Warne. Time you bought a watch as well, says Jay there. I mean, I do have the time on my screen. I could see that it ticked up to 9:31, and I was like, oh, I feel bad, but I did want to get the lineup up, or else then it was going to end up like, that's the thing. I could have been clicking away here, but I thought it's either wait a little bit longer and have the lineup, or don't get the lineup up and then just click around. And when are they playing? Jamie Roberts for the Tars as well, says Johnny Blaze. It's a good question. He's only had about 5 minutes off the bench in his combined 2 ones, and I was like, please tell me the time. I realized where that's come from for Jay there for that one. That is 9:35 p.m. And the one, what's your favorite rugby game? Says Fitch. I would say, I mean, Hurricanes versus Blues was very good originally for the Super Rugby season. Another good game, Hurricanes versus Highlanders last year, was a very very fun one, I should say, as well there. But these are the benches: Pollard, CO, and Ross. And not you. I was probably doing broadcast at the time. And there says Jay, yeah. I do need to start reading the chat in order, don't I? Sometimes I go with the newest ones first, and then I get myself confused. But Kennedy and Raymer as the 2 replacements for the Brumbies in the lock and the loose forward. Ryan Lonergan, then it will be Fiai Saltier there at number 22, and then Jesse Mogg at 23 for the Waratahs. It's going to be Horton, Faulkner, and Smith, Douglas Gleeson, Carlo Tizzano, who's a tackler machine, Will Harrison there at number 22, and then Funa at number 23. But that is the starting lineup and reserves for both of these sides. We're probably sitting around 9 minutes away from the start of this match. So what I am going to do is I'm quickly going to get the game up so that I can see what is going on. But currently, it's going to be a good game. I have a feeling that the Waratahs, I said this earlier on as well, like if this game was happening last year, there would be no doubt in my mind who is going to win this game. But because it's happening this year, and we're seeing the Waratahs come out, and they seem to be coming out firing in a couple of their early matches, winning their game up against the Fiji and Drua, and now also having a close game. Last week, I believe they did end up having that close game up against, I'm going to have to try and remember, was it the Western Force? No, they didn't play them. Was it the Rebel? No. Who did they play last week? It was actually the Reds, wasn't it? And where is it held at? It is at GIO Stadium. I decided to put HBF Park behind me just because it's a little bit earlier there, and I decided that would make more sense then at the moment, because like 9:37 p.m. here in New Zealand, it will be 7:37 p.m. from local time, but I decided we might as well go right back to 5:37 p.m. because then it's sunny still, which it has lost. But that's what I know, also LLL. And there, as I says, Noah Smith. But currently, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, I should say, a player in this game that you think is going to be standing out for both of these sides. There's currently, it's a thing, two very good sides in their own right. The Waratahs, they want to fight hard here. They had a very bad losing streak last year, but now seems like it's all kind of come right for them, and they are going to be ready to go for this matchup. So for me personally, I always say it, but I'm going to say it again. Rob Valentini for me is a player to watch out for. Also Andy Muirhead for the Brumbies. I think those are the two for me that are going to be able to make an impact. For the Waratahs, though, they've got Dave Parecki, does love himself a rolling maul try. Angus Bell as well. It's absolutely sensational, just but my tongue, that was unfortunate. Don't like doing that. And the ref, and there's Captain James, for who is going to be a standout for this one. Yeah, I hope the ref isn't too heavily involved overall, because or else then it does mean more than likely we are going to have a little bit of a stop-startish game for this one, which we don't really want. And also, Yul, what's popping in there? Yul, what's popping? Is that like gangster talk for hey, how are you? I think that is gangster talk for hey, how are you? I am doing well. Currently, I'm popping good, doing a lot of popping, just like I am popcorn. You feel me, homie? I feel like everyone will now just leave, so I do apologize. See you all later. But currently now, we are still sitting a little way away from the game getting underway for this matchup. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Also, first try scorer of the game, who are you going with for this matchup? I'm gonna go Valentini. I'm going Valentini for everything in terms of best player in this match, best or first try scorer of this game. I'm going Valentini, even though it probably should go Pete Samu because he's number 8, so it would make more sense if they are close. But I'm just looking at the odds currently, and the Waratahs, they are underdogs, but nowhere near as much as they would have been if this game was taking place last year in the competition. Like I mentioned, a couple stats to do with this match. There's some interesting ones to do with this one, and that is the fact that the Waratahs, their record is not fantastic. The Brumbies have won 11 of their last 12 Super Rugby matches against the New South Wales Waratahs, including their last 8 on the bounce, longest winning run by either side in the history of this fixture. So the Waratahs, they are struggling up against the Brumbies. They want to try and improve. And Hamish, it's something an Ishe Bar says, are you an Ishe Bar? Ishe Bar. Bar. Isn't like a sheep? Like a bar? I'm very confused. I feel like I will stick to my non-gangster just because, or else I just make a fool of myself. But Isaiah Perezi in this one so far. 12 tackle breaks for the New South Waratahs in the 2022 Super Rugby Pacific campaign, and that is the most of any player in the competition, and twice as many as Brumbies leader Tom Banks. There you go. And also Brumbies for the win in that one from Andre. Should be a very exciting game. Will Harris at the moment has scored a try in each of this of the first 2 rounds, Super Rugby 2022. And also he's one of the 3 forwards to have scored more than one in that time. Kurt Eklund and Ryan or Lachlan Lonergan. So when you look at that, Harris scoring tries is impressive because he's not getting them off the rolling maul like those other guys. I'm not kidding. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm not a gangster. And then it says Noah Smith. Neither. And also one other stat that we are going to be looking at. The Brumbies have won 15 of the last 16 home games against Australian opposition or opponents, in Super Rugby competitions, including their last 3 on the bounce. They have not lost a fixture by a margin greater than 7 points since a 27-17 loss to the Queensland Reds in February 2014. Those are the stats that we will be giving you guys for this match, just to let you know that there's a little bit of extra on the line here. The New South Wales Waratahs would love to be able to get themselves a win here. They're just showing Rob Valentini that physicality that man brings is just next level. But James Slipper, he's got a lot of experience as well in the front row department. Currently only 4 minutes away from this game getting underway here. But we will show the lineups once again. James Slipper, Falau Fainga'a, and Alan Alatoa in the front row. Darcy Swain and Nick Frost as your 9-10. That's a lie. As your 4-5. Rob Valentini, Jerome Brown, and then it will be Pete Samu at number 8. Nick White and Noel Lalicio going to be there as 9-10. Ure Simoni and Lena Cattell, they are a dangerous midfield combo, and when they get a little bit of space, they can certainly have a bit of an impact. That part of my beard looks very strange, just like the rest of it. Andy Muirhead going to be there on the left wing. Tom Wright out on the right, and then Tom Banks. A lot of Toms, and they are both going to be linking up as the 14. And the 15 for this game, looking through at the Waratahs one more time, it will be Angus Bell, Dave Parecki, and Harry Johnson-Holmes. It's the front row, Jed Holloway, or the front row, I should say. And also it is going to be Jed Holloway and Jeremy Williams. It's the two locks, Hugh Sinclair, Charlie Gamble, and Will Harris, who has been going very well for himself as of late. Like I mentioned just before, he has actually scored in both of the opening fixtures. So perhaps a hat trick could be just around the corner. Jake Gordon, Ben Donaldson as your 9-10 fly half and scrum half. James Turner out on one wing. Lalakai Fakiti, Isaiah Perezi, Dylan Pietsch, and then it will be Alex Newsom slotting in at fullback for this matchup. And then these are the benches, ladies and gentlemen. And also, who do you reckon will win the next World Cup? I think France have got a good chance, I'll be honest. They've got a good side. They've got a good foundation building. And also, I want to say an honourable mention. If it's going to be someone in the Northern Hemisphere, for some reason, I'm just getting a little slight feeling that Ireland will do the best that they've ever done in a World Cup. Although saying that, that's what every Irish supporter says every single year. And it never happens. So I'm going to wait and see. Of course, and also Hamish Knock Knock. And there's a Geelong Cats fan. I'm very worried about Knock Knock jokes, but who is there? And also, yo, says Betty Wagner. And also, hey, Hamish, my dad's, I've been looking forward to this game, says Brandon. So who does he want to win this one? Is it the Brumbies or is it the Waratahs? Do let me know. I've realized my camera's not very central at the moment. I'm kind of off to the side, so we'll go like that. And there we go. I hardly have to move, and it just moves for me. Now I'm not central again. That'll do. We don't want to be completely central, or else then, like, the perfectionist in me that doesn't really exist will end up getting annoyed that we're not quite central in a way that we would like. But currently looking through at some of the fixtures that we have got coming up for the Brumbies, they are going to be taking on the Waratahs here. That is the one that does say 7 days, but we are now here. They have got the Rebels next week, followed by the Reds, and then their next game after that, it will be up against the Western Force. So that will be an interesting one. From the Waratahs, they have got a couple more tough opponents. Any game in Australia at the moment is a tough game because all of these sides do want to win. I don't think I got the Waratahs, all their fixtures coming up that they have got. Unless this is them, that's the Western Force. Although that does actually tell us that the Western Force play the Waratahs next week. I might be able to fluke this here. The Waratahs, first of all, they actually play the Western Force, then they play the Rebels. Now we've got to find one more that has the Waratahs at the bottom. Nope. Okay, we don't know who the Waratahs play last, which more than likely means that they are playing the other side of the Australian side that I don't have there, and that would be the Reds. That was a loud clap. I do apologise. And also, are the Aussie Cricketers? The Aussie Cricketers who? And also, Geelong Cats band on the BKR channel. I see. And also, he don't care. He wants to be, or he don't care. She wants to be 31 to 29. As I'm prediction, says Jack Lewis. I think this game's going to be within 10 points. I can't wait for Crusaders versus Blues. Going to be a humdinger. And there says Andre, and should be a very exciting contest indeed between those two sides. And the big thing for me in that game is it's always the most anticipated Super Rugby game for New Zealand. Everyone wants to see that matchup. Every time it either gets postponed or cancelled. That was what we had for Super Rugby Aotearoa. And then also, and that's the thing, they made the signing of Bowden Barrett and everyone was like, it's going to be different for the Blues this next game. And then we didn't get to see it. And then we waited a year. And then it also got postponed, I think it was. But now we have seen it in the past. And it looks like a good one. The Aussie Cricketers got a wicket. And there's Geelong. They have done nicely to get the one, but they probably need about 5 more at least to really have Pakistan under pressure. And also, I can't wait to see Fiji do. And there as well, says Brown, I assume that has Fiji and Roy, and they are certainly going to be an exciting one going forward now in the competition. But currently now, I believe we are sitting. One moment, we will click there, and we will click there, right? We are getting very close. They're always late, the Australians. Maybe they are the ones who need to watch Jay at the ground to go, right. It's 1 minute past. We should probably have kicked off by now. At this point, and what's your favourite sport? I love myself cricket and rugby. Those are probably my top two. It's very hard to decide out of those two which one I like better, though, because they are, I guess, both unique in their own way. But now, for the Bunnings NBC, the final game of round 3, I have a bit of a feeling it's going to be another nail-biting contest. And if it is, I mean, every contest today has already had us on the edge of our seats. And also, when does the Cape Town 7 start, says Andre? I will give you that information. I know that the next Sevens tournament is in about 35 days' time. So who's the halfback pairing for the Brums? Says Jack Lewis. So they have got themselves Nick White starting, and then it will be Ryan Lonergan off the bench for the Brumbies. If you also want the Waratahs, Jake Gordon starting. And then they haven't really got a replacement halfback. To be honest, it's Will Harrison at number 22, Carlo Tizzano. They've gone with the extra forward in that pack. But Cape Town Sevens, one moment, I'll see if they have confirmed it. As of yet, I know that we've got the Sevens World Cup that will be coming up. So it's 33 days until we do get to see the Singapore Sevens. And I'll scroll down a little bit more. Okay, so the Rugby World Cup for the women's side of it and the Sevens side of it, that is going to be in 187 days' time. They're not too far away. I should probably get you the date, shouldn't I? Rather than just telling you 187. That doesn't really help anyone for that one. But the Men's World Cup, it is going to be starting on the 9th of September, going through to the 11th of September in 2022. I got a shock for my shows as well. There's Brandon there. Yeah, it's not too far away from us getting to see a few more matches of the Sevens, including the ones in Singapore, which should have New Zealand back, should have Fiji back, should have Samoa back, and it should be an all-out contest in the few days that we do get to see it take place. And we will be covering those few days on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new and you do love your Sevens, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And also, there's such a details joke as us this video over there. And also, we over there. Thanks so much. See, here's Andre there. But currently, it is close to this game getting on. Surely it's a 9:50 start. It's raining. That's not a surprise. But why are we so late to getting to kick off? It's always weird. And also, do you watch much rugby league? I try my best to watch the games. I do see that Sundays, I believe I will be able to watch a couple games. And also the Thursdays, it shouldn't quite overlap with anything else that we're doing. So maybe we look at doing some sort of rugby league watch-alongs in the future. I know I'm not good with jokes. And also I have a question for you, Hamish, coming soon as well, says Brandon. So do let me know. Currently, does look like it's quite wet there at the ground. And it seems like the Brumbies and also the Waratahs, they will be making their way out very soon. That was, I think someone was hiding underneath a sign. Seems like it is a very good idea. Definitely when it is pouring down as quickly as it is there. And here we go. Some Aussie rugby, says Sebastian. And I'm hoping it's something like that game that we got to see between the Reds. No, not the Reds. Between the Brumbies and the Western Force. That game was sensational. How quick it went down to the wire. And it just flew by. So if this game is anything like it, and oh no, rain, not shock. And there says Brandon, I was like, g'day, how we going? Says Xavier, doing very well, mate. And one more that we have got on TikTok. Turn the clock. Forgot to bring my watch. As I says Patty Wagon there. Is that the new Kesha lyrics that she never released, I guess, for her song TikTok? I'm currently itching my ankle because I got bitten by a mosquito, unfortunately, which is never fun because it's not so much like it doesn't hurt when you get bitten by a mosquito, but it's just that annoying itchiness afterwards that just really annoys people. Currently now looking through at the starting lineup, Funa is actually going to be starting in the starting lineup. So that will be rather than the man who was going to be at 11 for them for this game, which was originally going to be James Turner. So I'm not too sure what's happened to him there. He is going to be missing. And now Jamie Roberts gets the number 23 jersey. So he does get maybe a later chance. I have a testing day for work as well. Says Brandon there. As I hope the Waratahs win, says Xavier. And also, need some of that Stingos stuff. And there says Captain. I think we've got, is it called Suv or something like that? You pretty much just put it on. And it does help it out. But Slipper, Whainga, Alatoa, then also Swain, Frost, Valentini, Brown, and Samu. They will be the front one. And do you still yawn on command? I think I've slowly fixed it. Slowly. Depending on the hour. Like, if this was 2 hours later, yes. But seeing as it's a decent hour of the day, no. And hopefully that is the way it continues. Because every once in a while, and that's the thing, I probably yawn more now off command, so that probably fixes it a little bit. And 19 cases, how much today? I assume it's probably around that 22, 25,000 mark, somewhere around there. And also, Jesus says, David the Mile, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. I believe we have still got 2 more live streams later on tonight as well. First one is going to be the Curry Cup, and that will be at 1:30 a.m. New Zealand time. The Griquas taking on the Blue Bulls, and then after that, it is going to be the game for the Premiership. Top 3 teams in terms of number 1, and at least the Tigers taking on 3 in the Saracens, and that is going to be the score. Well, that's not going to be the score. That is going to be the game that we are covering at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. Good to hear, mate, as well, says Jay, and g'day, Double David. Surely there's a little bit of disappointment there, Jay, on the fact that it no longer works as well. And also, do you watch Six Nations? We do indeed. We have done every single match of the Six Nations, the commentary on those matches as well, and we are going to be continuing that right throughout the rest of the competition. Next week, Scotland versus Italy England versus Ireland, and France versus Wales. Should be exciting. The Brumbies now being led out onto the field here. And they are playing for some sort of trophy that looks like it will be holding quite a bit of water. It's got quite a wide base on it at this stage in Six Nations. So says Brandon, I want to visit New Zealand. Always have wanted to. It's very nice. And definitely if you love your sport, you're going to love it here because you can just go, or maybe not right now. You can't go to the stadiums, but when you do get the chance, highly recommend checking out some of the live sport. There we have got an AJ. It's good to see you, brother. And there it says David the Mod. Also, what is better, Rugby 22 or Rugby Challenge 4? I would say, honestly, Rugby 22 is probably not too bad. If you can, do a second channel for Rugby League, man. I love your commentary as well. See Sports Plus. We actually have got a second channel. One moment. We'll go here. The Kiwi Lads Sport. Oh, actually, I was ahead of the kind of, I actually thought of it before the live stream. It's actually the pinned comment on this live stream, I believe. And that will take you through to the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, if I'm not wrong. But that is actually the link to the Kiwi Lads Sport if you do want to check it out. And yeah, we will be having some more videos coming up on there very soon. And also Pakistan should clear by today. Otherwise, it's going to be a draw, says Geelong Cats. I think they're backing themselves to be able to bat twice, perhaps. And also France have been playing good. They have indeed. It's South Africa versus Wales coming soon, says Andre. And also South Africa versus England, All Blacks versus England, and All Blacks versus the Springboks. This game now is underway between the two sides, though. And Pete Samu taking it nicely just outside of the 22 for the Brumbies. I'm very hyped up at the moment. I feel like I'm starting to kind of try and sell you guys something in an auction. But hopefully my voice slowly slows down throughout this one. But it's going to be kicked high by Nick White. Muirhead going up for it. Doesn't quite take it cleanly. Newsom also knocking it on. And Nick Berry says, we will be having a scrum here. And someone is just having a fight with a man between his legs. And the man between his legs was not the one that he was fighting with. So I guess you could say fanciness has ensued. But currently, they're saying it's wet, it's slippery, there's not a lot of breeze in there. And Nick White at the moment, he's got a big smile on his face, even though it is absolutely bucketing down. We've seen it in many parts of Australia over the last few weeks. There's been torrential downpours. Like from this angle, it doesn't look too bad, but I think that's just because the camera might have something over the top of it. Try and protect it a little bit. But Ben Donaldson, he's going to need a big game at number 10 for this matchup. Now Nick White going to be feeding in this ball for the Brumbies, and you make a good auctioneer in there, says Captain James. I know a lot of people have said if I ever end up stopping, that's a scrum and a half from the Brumbies. It's curled round, and that is going to be the penalty in favour of the Brumbies. I would say overall, Harry Johnson Homer and James Slipper, there's a lot of tension out there on the field at the moment between these players. But yeah, if my YouTube career does go down the gurgler, people have said just become an auctioneer or a horse racing commentator would be the other option. What else do you need to be able to talk quick in? A rapper. I'll become a gangster and just rap and release like a mixtape. They'll do. And Brumbies forwards will destroy the Tahs and make life very difficult today, says Jack. Yeah, those big loose forwards straight away. Pete Samu, Jerome Brown, and Rob Valentini. Then alongside that, you've also got James Slipper, Falau Faingata, and Alan Alata. So Harry Johnson Holmes and James Slipper exchanging words early on for this match. Throwing that ball to the bag, nicely taken by Darcy Swain. Now a little flick back. It's very slippery, but now Rob Valentini up to the 22, driving forward very nicely, although I don't know whether or not it's completely his choice to go forward there. It's going to be the scrum for the Waratahs, who have been able to defend that rolling maul. Does everyone get up from here without any push and shove being thrown? Yes. Good job, boys. That's straight out of Waimati. That could be the diss track, kind of, or not the diss track. That could be the name of the album. I'll make it like one of those tape decks, so you actually have to have like the old-fashioned one to be able to listen to it. That will be like extra special. Like 3 people will listen to it. One of them will be me, because I think we've still got one out in the garage. Other 2, I'll just make my parents listen to it. And also become a 8-pool commentator. An 8-pool commentator. 8-pool. 8-pool. Come an 8-pool. 8-pool, as in like 8-ball pool on the phone, Xavier, or something else? Average question before swing of the scrum. Must the scrum first go forward for a meter? Also, I'm really confused about this, says Andre. Okay, so pretty much you can't just straight away illegally wheel it. If it starts going sideways and you're like kind of, I guess what's the best way of describing it? So this is the front row. They all like each other. They don't like each other too much. You interlock. You go like that. And then, of course, with the amount of pressure that is coming in. Sometimes you're going to end up kind of with a little bit of an extra push from this little pinky man on that side. So because of it, if it starts wheeling, as long as it's not really like wheeling before anyone's moved, I believe that's allowed. I think he meant snooker. There's David the Mob, but that is now going to be 5 meters out. Was that diagram any good, or was that just me moving my fingers in random directions? You let me know. But yeah, pretty much the referee is, I guess, in charge of whether or not he feels that it's kind of wheeled round illegally or whether it is actually turning because of some dominance on one side. And then it will be front row angling in penalty for it. But Nick White goes back across, and then Muirhead puts the head down. Nope, not quite getting over the line as of yet. Now Nick White wants to pierce the gap himself, driven sideways in that tackle by, I believe that would have been, I want to say it was Max Douglas. I was able to make the big tackle on him. He wasn't in the starting lineup. I don't believe for my original one. That's going to be another advantage now for the Brumbies, only a few meters out. I'm looking around for Rob Valentini. He's the player I said was going to be able to do very well for himself. He gets back up to his feet. Does he get to use it? He's going to be going around the side now. Rob Valentini, ball in hand, goes round the side. He's over the line, and Rob Valentini scores the try. And also, what was your dream? And my dream, as in like last night or in general? For aspirations, because way back when I was a child, I wanted to become a wrestler because I thought, oh yeah, I could do that. And then I realized that I didn't grow very much, and unless I had the speed and agility of someone like a Rey Mysterio, I was probably going to be doomed from the get-go. That's my failed attempt at becoming. I didn't actually like try out or anything for that. That would have hurt more than likely. But that's the first try. But the Brumbies, they're very good try to have early on, and Rob Valentini ends up scoring the try. That man just scores tries for fun every single time. He just goes over the line. And also, my dog just came in my room. She's obsessed with my chips and gravy. It's hilarious. You can read my messages, please. This Brandon, I will try my best right now. And then I have a question for you, Hamish. What is your next video on the Kiwi Lads and the Kiwi Lads shorts? Kiwi Lads shorts, not too sure. Next video that's coming out, that is actually a video, will be the one with Norm Maxwell. And thanks for explaining, says Andre. Hopefully I did make sense of it, I guess. And what's the difference between the loose head and tight head? As in just one scrums from the left and one scrums from the right. Is that all? Little bit, I guess. I don't know whether or not it's to do with like what dominant side, but pretty much the loose. I don't know why it's loose and tight. I guess loose head side, of course, is always associated with the bottom side when you're looking from the left. Don't know where the names came from for that. Robbie V. And there's Sebastian for Rob Valentini scoring the try. And also when they kick off, you can't just go for a drop goal. You need to do and at least one phase right. Xavier, I think you can go for a drop goal straight away, but is that for a 22 dropout? I think you actually can. We saw it in one of the Australian games that the man just decided, I'm just going to go for it. But that one did go over for the kick. So the score now 7-0 in favor of the Brumbies. But as long as you do it in a way, like I guess it doesn't make you the most popular player around because you've just kicked the ball away. Definitely if you don't get it over. As a Brandon Spam, you read your question. And there's Isha Long and also Joe Marler is a loose head prop because he's just loose in general as a person. He's a bit of a loose cannon, I guess is the best way of describing it. Darcy Swain not too happy with Jed Holloway. And like I mentioned, tensions are high out there on the field, taken nicely by Alex Newsom. Doesn't want to throw that one in. But this game, it is one that has been going on for many, many years. My parents actually described it to me a while ago about there was a game between the Waratahs and the Brumbies. It was described as the game of the century. That was how it was advertised. The end score was 9-3. Just let that sink in. 9-3 for the game of the century. There you go. And also, bro, you're always working hard on this channel, says Bingo Bango. Pickle Mango in there, as we always are. No matter the hour of the day, we're doing something. Like, even when I'm sleeping, I'm still thinking of ideas. And then I just wake up in the morning and write them down. Like, that's the thing. Do you guys ever have dreams about something you want to do? And then you just write it down in the morning? I feel like that's kind of probably only like slightly YouTube style thing. But like, if I have a dream about a funny video or something that we could get doing, or could like do on the channel, we just, I'll write it down in the morning. I say it to the guys and they're like, what are you on? Like, how did you come up with that one? Like, were you high? And I go, nah, I was asleep. And also, hi from the UK, says Neil Davidson. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Time in the UK, you must be looking at morning, I assume. If I'm not right, I remember that game. It was epic. And then says David the Molinosto must have been a boring set. He had 9-3, no tries, I presume it was indeed. And also All Blacks versus Australia 2000 was the best game ever. And then Canes get the W. They did indeed, and welcome in Neil, says Sebastian. Well, then how did you get into rugby? I think originally I started playing it, and then from there, it was actually only really when Rugby Challenge 4 came out that I really started getting right back into kind of watching all the competitions around the world. I started off just watching Super Rugby Aotearoa. That was my first competition, the 2021. And then from there, kind of kicked on going. That's going to be front rows going up. See, that time Nick Berry said that there was a bit too much movement, but everyone's fired up in the 4 backs at 9 a.m. Says Neil. So a nice early morning start. We've got the Curry Cup coming up a bit later on at 1:30 a.m. New Zealand time. So that would be, I guess, 11. No. So it's currently 9 there. So that would be 12:30 p.m. UK time. And then the one after that, we've got Saracens taking on Leicester Tigers. Do let me know what you're thinking in terms of who's going to win that match, ladies and gentlemen. Should be a great game. And who's Neil, Kiwi lads? And then Neil Davidson. He's in the chat. Neil, that's a penalty for the Brumbies. Do we get out of this without too much push and shove? Yes, we do. And also, I've loved rugby from when I was little. As I says, Paddy Wagon. Now 40 metres out from their own line here. The Brumbies and the former Tom Banks be kicking this one for the touchline. But the Waratahs, they've had 2 penalties against them so far in the early stages of this game. Rob Valentini, the one try scorer of this game. Big Ginger looks mad as his copter there. And also, Michelle is not going to say season 2. It's going to be book 2. And also, did Owen Farrell get dropped from the England squad? I think it was injury related, if I'm not wrong. But it might have also been, I know that Marcus Smith, I mean, he's got man of the match in all 3 of the matches for England so far. So it's not exactly, like, that's the thing. If Owen Farrell was back, surely he'd have to be off the bench or at 12 because Marcus Smith is just dominating that number 10 jersey at the moment. Alongside Freddie Stewart at 15. I can't think of too many players who would be at 15 other than Freddie Stewart, who is also young up-and-coming talent and also a bit of a TARS forwards don't front up. But if the TARS forwards don't front up, the Brumbies, this will get ugly. Brumbies too scrum dominant, says Jack. That was a very hard sentence to read, and it wasn't the way you worded it. It was just the way that I said it. That didn't quite work. Valentini just falling back on top of Falau Fainga'a, giving the Waratahs a bit of a free shot. It's a penalty there to the Brumbies. This will be a nice, easy 3 if they want it, or do you take on the 7? Try and get yourselves a little bit more of a lead. They've got all the momentum at the moment for the Brumbies. Noel Alessio, he's got this ball. Okay, he is taking on the 3. And Griquas versus Blue Bulls at 12:30 p.m. UK time, and Saracens versus Leicester at 3 p.m. That one says Sebastian. But yeah, 2 good games of rugby that will be coming up there. And hopefully, that's the thing. If my voice sticks around for long enough, we will end up doing, like, at this point in time, I would say, like, the game between Leicester and Saracens is locked in. It's just whether or not I've got enough voice for Griquas versus Blue Bulls. And did you like the South African teams in Super Rugby? I did. It brought a whole new dynamic to the competition, which I feel like is going to be a void that they can't really fill. Because, like, having the Sharks, having the Stormers, the Lions, and also the Bulls and the competition just added so much more to it in terms of the kind of multicultural side of their multi-country competition, I should say, there as well. And they just brought that physicality that you love to see. But that one's gone over, and it is now going to be 10-0 in favour of the Brumbies. So good start to the match now, and the Waratahs after 12 minutes. Is this the Waratahs that we may have seen a little bit of last year, or can they fight back? Can they find themselves some momentum? Can they get themselves the next points on the board? It's kicked off long by Donaldson. Taken nicely there by Andy Muirhead, dragged down on the 22. Also, we have a new channel member, and Jack Lewis. Thank you very much, mate. We will put you up on the screen for a little bit of time. Much appreciated. And now you have got access to those exclusive emojis that we have got. Why is 7 Evil 789? Why is 7? Wait, why is 7 Evil 789? I've heard that one a little bit. It was why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 789 and that one. Hey, welcome, brother. Says Paddy Wagon there. But yeah, be sure to use those emojis. We got the Kieran emoji. We got my face. We got George's face. We've got plenty more emojis coming soon. I've talked to Isaac about adding a few for Easter, which will be coming up. Pareki currently driving his way. And welcome to the Kiwi Lads family. Jack 10 out of 10 So from Sebastian, now Jake Gordon popping the ball over the top, a little bit loose. Will Harris has to pick it up, scoring both opening fixtures. He was able to score himself a try, I should say. Now Gordon going across to Angus Bell, getting the ankles taken out, and they're going back for the original penalty to the Waratahs. Now the big thing for me here, I think someone just tried to kick the ball and it smacked into his own player's head. Interesting. There seems to be a lot of tension out there. It seems like everyone is stressed. It's probably the rain. They're not too happy about it. They'd rather play in the sun. Currently the possession, 77% for the Brumbies, and they are taking on the three-pointer here, so that will put them back to 7. And I'll say, hey, Hamish, I put a video of comedian Brian Blessed commentating on snooker. As I says, David, there, that would have been the Discord message, was it? Before I've been following the page for ages, as you just, just never got around to joining. Good stuff, as I says, Jack. And yeah, it is hugely appreciated, mate. Help and support us and help and build Kiwi Lads Studio that is coming up. Studio sounds like such a fancy word. It's just a room outside that's inside, but not connected to the house that we're going to put a whole heap of gear in. I'll probably not actually put a whole heap of gear in, but just build a set in for it. And also welcome. See, here's David the Mod, that one. He's missed. He's missed. Oh, that's not what the Waratahs need. I like your video, says Fish there. I do appreciate you a lot, mate. And also the Kieran, the Christmas, the Try, the Out, the 10, the Billy, the George, the Hamish, the New Zealander, and the 6. We need to probably add in some other type of one for the 6. So it'll probably be some sort of Easter-related emoji perhaps. But now it's going to be Nick White kicking off this one from the 22. Just didn't quite work out for Ben Donaldson. I think he's missed quite a few. Are you still doing the Rugby Down Under podcast? Says Edward Ellis. And that one, I haven't actually heard anything. I messaged him, I think it was at the start of the year, and never got a reply. So I assume not. I don't think it will be coming anytime soon, unfortunately, which is a shame. But yeah, I guess it is one of those ones that it is what it is. That's a great steal from Leonard Cattell. And also Waratahs look lost. That's a penalty there to the Brumbies. And they are going to continue to build themselves phase after phase currently. I will quickly go like this and like this as well. And then we will put the game back up. There we go. We have got it there on the middle of the screen. It's weird. I've got about 3 over the top. And Brian Blessed is a legend once. He once had to cut a woman's umbilical cord with his teeth when she gave birth and couldn't get to the hospital in time. Is that a thing? And also, he's also a great voice actor and amateur boxer. And that one sounds like a chick then to me, Irish. And also, why is he not replying? Not really sure. I assume he's been pretty busy because the NRL season just around the corner as well. But that one's gone up now, just inside of the 22 for the Waratahs. And now kicking it back down to the halfway line for Tom Banks. Now going up once again. It's going to be an awkward, swirling one, but taken beautifully by Pareki there. It wasn't Pareki. It was actually Foketi. Was able to take that one now, kicking it in behind, taken nicely there by Tom Banks. Now 40 metres out from their own line. Brumbies put up the high kick. Andy Muirhead going to be chasing after this one. That's not an easy ball to read. It's sitting up there. And Leonard Cattell just waiting for the pop that he was after. Nick White now offloading it back to Ikatel. Currently, the Brumbies, they are sitting about 20 metres out from the line. And also need Brumbies to win in order. Canes to stay in the top 4 as well. So here's more cake. Oh, yeah, because if the Waratahs do end up winning this game, then they will promote themselves right up to about 3rd, don't they? Now Alalatawa tries to look for the offload. It did end up going down. The referee has set play on. I believe it hit a forearm of the Waratahs. Now Nick White once again firing it back across. James Slipper is there. And also, what about an Easter rugby ball? That is a good idea. So I think we have got some sort of Easter themed one for pretty much all of the emojis that we have got at the moment. But an Easter rugby ball, I think, could be a nice one. I have to try and make sure that it does have kind of like the, I guess, overlap. And also, I can make it an Easter emoji if you want. Says Sebastian there. Do you want to try and do the Easter rugby ball, Sebastian? I guess, how do you do it so that it's a rugby ball but also an egg? That's probably a good question. It's going to be the penalty to the Waratahs now. I see Dunn and Harry Johnson-Holmes. He was right on top of Nick White. He was not going anywhere. I'm keen for some Easter eggs, says Luke. I think they started selling them straight after Christmas, didn't they, for Easter eggs? They just love bringing them out. And Brian Bless punched a bowl of beer in the face for trying to enter his tent. Is that actually a thing? So he's bitten an umbilical cord. Who is Brian Blessed? Is he actually a real person, or are you guys pulling my leg? I have no idea who this man is. It sounds like he has done quite a bit, just telling me exactly what it should look like in detail. Hey, Sebastian, it's a good question, isn't it? Yeah, I'll try and come up with some sort of one, and also the image there from Jack Lewis. So that will probably have some sort of Easter theme that I think Isaac has been working on at the moment. Also, he's doing the Norm Maxwell there, sitting up. No, not quite going into the hands that they would have been after. Isaiah Parisi has been able to regather it there for the Waratahs. It's being played at a very fast pace. Now Parisi once again getting back up and banging straight into the Brumbies. Wrestling the ball back. Harry Johnson home continues. Drive his way forward nicely. Jake Gordon flat ball now. Believe that was big Will Harris. And the Waratahs, if they can get themselves over the line one more time, that would certainly give them a lot of confidence here. Ball still available for Laufanga. Was getting held in, so that was not going to be the penalty. Harris now back off. I think that was Angus Bell. Once again, gets the carry. He's a big boy. It wasn't Angus Bell, though. It was actually the number 4, Jed Holloway, who's been sensational in the early stages. Good run forward from Alex Newsom, I should say. You know what? The names aren't rolling off the tongue today. And then we've got South African names a bit later on. They are not going to be easy to be able to pronounce. But now Donaldson goes back. Rush defense from Nick White did shut down any chance of a wide backline movement there. Gordon going short side to Harry Johnson Holmes. I guess it would replace the Christmas emoji. Yeah, probably would have to. Because we are still, we're still in the Christmas spirit, even though we're actually in March. At the moment, Ben Donaldson kicks a high. Going to be chased by Dylan Pitch, trying to line it up. Doesn't quite get it. It's actually hit him in the foot. And it's going to be play on now. Waratahs have got this one on 25 metres out. Parecki with a good straight drive. Jerome Brown, good clean out from Angus Bell. Now passing it back wide offside. Good spin from Newsom, but great low tackle from Valentini. Phase after 15 now. Short ball there. And that was going to be Hugh Sinclair. And then wrestled down. Now off to Fakiti. The Waratahs, they're trying to make their way forward. It's been ripped away by Pete Samu. And now we'll be going back for the penalty. And also, who do you think that will win the Super Rugby Pacific? I think it's probably, for me personally, at this stage, I would say it's between the Crusaders, the Chiefs. I feel the Chiefs have got a very good chance of being able to go on, and the Blues, but then the Hurricanes are also doing well. And then saying that, I don't know. Crusaders are definitely the favourites, and it's probably one of those other New Zealand sides to get close. It depends on who everyone faces in the quarterfinals, because, of course, if you're up against them right, they're going for the 3 points once again. You cannot miss this one. And also, what's BR Sports' biggest problem with anger, or what's BR Sports' biggest problem is anger problems, as our sister on there. Blessed, famous Pommy, classical Shakespearean actor, funny as well. So blessed. So it's blessed. Okay, I feel like I'm going to have to listen to that snooker one, aren't I? Currently now, Ben Donaldson lines it up. Does get that one over, and now the score going to be 3 points to the Waratahs and 10 for the Brumbies. Currently 7 points difference between the two sides. 22 minutes gone. That is absolutely flown by at this current point in time. Hopefully it does continue like that. Although that's the thing, I always love a fast game, like when you see the clock ticking down, but then I also hate a fast game because then you don't get to watch the game for as long. It's a weird dynamic that you want about 50-50 for. But currently, I should also mention as a video, I feel like this group that we've got at the moment, a lot of you guys are the regulars on the channel, so I'm wondering as well. I've got a question for you. I picked up the camera that I had for a little while at this stage, and Bless ID, and he says to have them on an eye from Leonard Wright. Welcome into the live stream. What was the Canes game good? It was a very good game between those two sides. At the end of the day, it was an extremely close one at the start. Both sides just throwing everything at them. Probably not, if you are looking for fast kind of tries being scored, it's probably not the best game for you, but the second half was certainly good in terms of a few extra tries being scored. But yeah, I've got my camera. I was wondering if I was to try and do some sort of like weekly or kind of fortnightly vlog, would you guys want to see that? Do let me know. And also, we've got there the Kiwi lads. We will see, or when will we see? When will we see the next Down Under podcast with you on Big Ass Sport? I don't know whether or not it's happening anymore. Unfortunately, I haven't really heard too much about it. So I assume at this stage, I know that Xavier messaged him a while ago and asked if the podcast was continuing, and he said probably not. So I assume the podcast has retired, unfortunately, there. So I don't think we got any coming. You don't send a vlog, yes, please. And there says Betty Wagon, but currently 24 minutes through this game, and it's going to be the scrum feed once again now for the Brumbies. They've actually had so many times. Nick White has just drilled all over himself. In fact, that was Jake Gordon and also live region Mind Hamish. And there says Betty Wagon. Oh, was that coming through before I ended up saying it? Patty for that one. I was probably a bit late reading it, wasn't I? But Nick White now be feeding this ball in. Everyone's staying up nicely. That's going wonky. Going to be now an arm out. And Nick White flicks it out the back, sitting up now for Isaiah. Or in fact, it's going to be some money there. And yes, a 24-hour stream while you're asleep or where you're asleep. Where you're asleep, says Geelong. I probably won't end up doing something along those lines, I would think. Also, vlog sounds good. And then said Sebastian and Hamish, do you think Redsville Brumbies stand a chance of defeating Crusaders, Blues, Hurricanes, and Chiefs, at least one of them, if not all? Says Achilles. I think the Brumbies at the moment, I would say, do look like the more likely of the two. The Reds have got probably too many injuries for their own liking at this current point in time to be able to be really competitive with those New Zealand sides. But when you look at it, if they have all of their players back, such as like Tate McDermott, having Taniela Tupou back to 100% starting, like that's going to be probably when they have their best chance of being able to do it. The way the Australian plays, I can't see them beating the Crusaders or Chiefs especially. I think they could keep it close. I know that the Brumbies, they kept the Crusaders close last year for Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. I was about to ask when you said about the camera. Says Patty Wagon there, and let us watch you sleep. We won't tell you what we're doing. And there says Gareth. And also Brumbies always give the Chiefs a good run, exactly right. And also the Reds beating the Chiefs last year for Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. Currently now a good rolling maul forming for the Brumbies here. Getting closer. Who's that man? He's just fallen over there. I think it was Pareki. Oh, that's going to be dropped, and it's a knock-on scrum feed now for the Waratahs. They are fired up currently away from home. And also they call it because the Giant Slayer. They almost beat the Sharks in the second Curry Cup round. And I doubt they will do the Bulls much damage because of the box who are in the Bulls squad. It's going to be a tough game for them, that is for sure. No, Brumbies said Reed Nichols a little bit earlier on in the task scrum is getting slapped. It is. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like they've quite got the answer for it yet. And hey, mate, hope you're well. There's Betty Wagon to his buddy Achilles. And also Brumbies beat the Chiefs at home. At home too, didn't they? Says Josh. I think it was, wasn't it? It was right at the end of the competition. Oh, that was a weird wasn't it? Was it a home game for the Chiefs, but they played it in Australia? No, I think I've got that around the wrong way. I know that the Rebels played the Highlanders in Australia as a Highlanders home game due to the cases. And Gregor's beat us Sharks way too often. The Easter emoji, I mean. And there's still a few weeks to Easter. I'll come up with something. And when I'm satisfied with it, I'll send it on Discord for approval. Says Sebastian there. Sounds very good. And I do appreciate the work that you're doing. You're getting yourself another promotion, even though, our promotion system, it is flawed at the moment. But yeah, we will have to wait and see how it ends up going. And also we have got there from Andre the Bulls. Barely have Springboks in the squad. We have youngsters and elders and like 2 or 3 box that hey Betty, what's up, mate? And I'll say it was in Waikato for sure. I remember because it was a New Zealand versus Australia versus New Zealand victory drought that was broken, says Josh. Because I know that the first win, the Reds beat the Chiefs at Suncorp. That was the first Australian side that were able to get themselves a win. But then I assume there were a couple more after that I really need to try and remember. In fact, have I got the information? I might have the information. Results and fixtures. 2022, that's not what we want. Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, this is perfect. Right. Fixtures, what we got here. So round 1, it did go the way of the Kiwis. Close game with the Western Force. And there, Chiefs bet the Chiefs bet the Brumbies 40 points to 19 for that one. So the first 2 rounds went the way of the Kiwis. We will keep on going through once that one is gone into the touch. And also Steve's a legend. He is indeed. And Kiwi Lads is 17. I'm not quite, but I'll take it. As Arnold's how old are you, mate? Says Leonard. I am 22 years old. I'm so bloody tired in there. Says better take a rest. Better get some sleep, man. And also, it was our first victory on New Zealand soil in a while, says Josh. One moment. Reds beating the Chiefs. They were at home for that one. I'm going to keep on looking through. I'm going to find it. The Reds. Brumbies, they beat the Hurricanes. That is the one. 12 points to 10. That will be the one that's in the mind I believe it. Also, Big Brother Kiwi Lad sounds good. And then there says Gareth, and also I like Christmas more. I like it when the ladies wear Santa outfit. I mean, I like it when the kids enjoy sweets and snow and all that. And then how tall are you? I think I'm about 178 or 179 centimeters. So not a huge man, but not a small-ish, kind of medium, average height, I guess you could say. And also, Kiwi, so I'm older than you. I'm 24. You must call me uncle. I probably won't do that, Achilles. I'll probably just end up calling you Achilles, to be honest. And also, what is your favorite stadium? I do enjoy looking. I mean, Eden Park's just got that feel, but overseas, I'd say that it's probably such as maybe the Principality Stadium or Aviva. It's brilliant in Ireland. South Africa, you got Joburg. Some very nice stadiums all around the world. England, Twickenham. Twickenham's a very nice one. And I says Leonard there, and also, well, Betty. Then I don't know, mate. And there as well. And also, I'm at a friend's place, says Betty. And also, might have been the 2020 season. I remember the bright orange Brumbies away kit. And there says Josh, bright orange away kit. Do I go back to the 2020? I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a look. Tell you what, we are sitting 13 minutes away. I'm going to go through and try and find what one we are talking about. And also, Hamish, you respect your elders. And there I do. But I normally only call people uncle who are related to me. Normally. Okay, now put back to Jake Gordon. Puts it up high. 28 minutes into this game, and we have only seen the one try, and that was Rob Valentini. Good spin there from you ahead. Being dragged down now once again, going back across field. James Slipper receives that one, trying to get himself a little bit closer to the line. 5 back now, and it's put high by Noah Lalicio right on the 22. Nice take from Newsom. Around the side for Ketty, actually ended up with the ball going backwards, they have said. So the gameplay on an Hamish really respects everyone, no exception whatsoever. And for those deserve to be exceptions as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, I am probably way too nice to some of the spammers, to be honest. All the people who just straight up insult me. There's a time where Mr. Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus stand under the mistletoe to be 24 again, as I says Gareth. And also, Hamish, I really did expect you to be younger than me. Usually YouTubers always older than me. I'm getting old, says your demise. There you go. I mean, yeah, 22, I guess in terms of, like, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, if I'm 32, will I still be doing YouTube? And I feel like I probably will be in some form. And it will just be weird. Like, because it will be like I would have grown up so much and you guys would have seen me like kind of grow throughout that. I would have seen you guys, well, not really seen you guys, but known you guys like kind of for a very long time. Who got one of this? I'd say the Brumbies, the moment, do look like the more dominant side. Scott Seo out on the field. That is for an HIA of James Gordon. End up, okay, that's almost the elbow there. Harry Johnson owns in Pakistan, 281 for 2. They're doing extremely well currently. And also, I'm blessed 2001 to you all. And then also, when are you going to do Nugget Rugby Challenge 4 or another Rugby Challenge 4 video? Says Fush. It's probably going to be when we do get New Zealand sides versus Australian sides. I think that will probably be when we do get a few more. We also want to do a couple of the Six Nations fixtures in the near future. It's more once the new studio gets set up. We will be a lot more, I guess, motivated to film a lot more videos in large proportions. Because when we film in here, like during the day, it gets very warm and we can't have the heat pump on because it's too loud. And we can't have the window open because we're too loud. So pretty much like once we get there, it's going to have like a quiet fan out there and it's just going to be nice. And also be sure to tune into the for the 2006 FIFA World Cup. Should be good. And the I'm21 as well. And also, so I will always know how old Hamish is. And also, yo, says Sam Henry. Welcome back to the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you all have a blessed Christmas, says Achilles. And also, yes, in 2003 World Cup rugby. It's going to be epic, says your demise. Are we trying to name ones that that's the thing, I probably haven't watched any of the old ones. I remember watching New Zealand in the FIFA 2010 World Cup, if that counts towards our thing. And also, I'm going to do a new video soon as a tribute to Shane Warne in 5 minutes or so. And there's Seth Long. And also, we have got the how's it, mate, from Gareth to Sam. I hope you guys are all doing well. That's gone down in the front row. And another scrum reset. Be just around the corner. And 2001 will be great. And there's your demise. That's the thing. Like, it used to be so different. Like, even 15 years ago or so, like a little bit later than 2001, 2007 or so. It's just like technology is so weird. You know, like I could be like, hey, Siri, and my phone listens to me. Like, that's weird, isn't it? She said, I'm not sure I understand. Maybe intelligence hasn't gone as far as I thought it had. And I was over there, I'm going, well, says Sam Henry, and will they release a Rugby World Cup 2003 game? Achilles, the Rugby World Cup prediction. I think France have got a good chance, but also All Blacks or Springboks. Probably my two other sides that I think will be going decently. That's gone into touch. Newsom pulling up lame with some sort of injury there, and I want to buy for the upcoming PS3. And then I waking up in 2001 and realizing that computers still work. The good old days, says Gareth. And that's the thing, like, even gaming, the fact that you can get a game that looks pretty much exactly like real life is, like, weird to me. And All Blacks might win it. Says Henry Samuel currently. It looks like Will Harrison going to be warming up a little bit. He's actually had a bit of a trim. Used to have a mullet. Angus Bell now attacking run forward. Dragged down by Jerome Brown. Is he all right? He is indeed. Just get straight back to his feet. Ball on the inside. Now this will be in the hands of this man. He's very quick. I've forgotten his name, but boy, has he got pace. He's still going. Is that Gamble? It is Charlie Gamble. I couldn't remember his name for this, pretty much to save myself. But now Harry Johnson Holmes only a couple of meters out from the line. There's another advantage here. And they are continuing to get a little bit closer to the line. Now they're playing the penalty advantage. 2000 is going to be great. And there, Dave Parecki firing a ball back to Ann, or it's going to be Ben Donaldson, in fact, finds a little pop pass up to Jed Holloway. This is great work currently from the Waratahs. Remember when I was that was epic fail for Windows computers. It's a good run, Ariel. Angus Bell, he has the head. Well, he had the shirt pulled over his head there, I should say. Tell you what, that was a shocking bit of commentary from myself. It just, the names did not roll anywhere near off the tongue. Charlie Gamble, he's a beast when he gets going. As soon as he has a little bit of space, he's got the mustache of an 80s porn star, and he runs like he's a track athlete, and he just continues to go and go and go. We have got their 2000s already have been done. And also, we have got there. Did you play a Rugby 08 game? I did indeed. I did quite enjoy that game, although I didn't actually play it as much as Rugby 06. For some reason, I did end up kind of Rugby 06 for such a long time. Then we went to Rugby 08 way later. And by then, like, Rugby 06 seemed to be the best one. And I was 2008, still far away, dude. It's 2001. How can we play Rugby 08? And I was like confused to see Samuel there. It looks like, they're going to be taking on the 3. I mean, I can understand why they do it, but I'm kind of disappointed with the fact that they do only want the 3 for that one. But currently now 33 minutes into this one. Write them off now. Good luck to both teams, and good night all. We will see you later on, mate. Donaldson's actually only just got that one over, but the score now 6 points to the Waratahs and 10 points to the Brumbies. But the next game that we will be covering on the channel, hopefully if my voice still intact, it is going to be at 1:30 a.m. And that game will be between two Curry Cup teams in the Blues, or the Bulls, the Blue Bulls, in fact. And also after that, it is going to be the game between Leicester and also Saracens. And yes, Sam, we just survived Y2K. And also, in fairness, the computer at my office has the new Windows 11 installed on it, and it doesn't stand out with anything slightly different interface, that's all. And I was a take care, buddy. And thanks, bro. Says Betty Wagon for that one as well. But take care, buddy, from Sebastian. Now currently on the 22. I believe they are allowed to kick this one into touch on the full. No, outside is the call from the ref. That was very late. It's Ben Donaldson. He doesn't find touch with it, which was a good move from that man. Now Tom Banks trying to run it forward. Ends up finding the offload off. Pete Samu looked a little bit high from Will Harrison. That's going to be going back for the penalty. And thanks, mate. And they up from Paddy Wagon. And also, Paddy stays safe a little bit earlier on it was from your demise. And there as well. But like they're saying, Will Harris just a little bit slow going down. I'm a series fan. So how do you feel they go up against the strong Leicester, who have only lost 2 games so far this season? Do let me know. Because I know last time these two sides played, I remember there was only like 1 or 2 tries scored, and it was ages into that game before we got to see it. I think it was like 78th minute or something like that. Leicester scored. And thank you for the stream by. And then says Fush, so we will see you later on. And pleasure, Betty. And also, I heard in about 2019, 2020, a virus deadly to the world. 19 more years to go. I hope Hope it won't happen, says your demise. Yeah, for that one. See, that's the thing. Like, someone was mentioning about it yesterday or the day before to me. And they said about how, like, we are currently, like, when you're in school and reading history books about certain, like, kind of events that happen in the world, we are currently, like, getting written into a history book or a history document online because no one reads books anymore. Or not very often, I don't think. They're all on their laptops and Chromebooks at schools rather than actual hardcovers. Now, good run forward. Brilliant tackle there on it would have been, I think it was Scott Seo now down the wing. Tom Banks getting close to the touchline, and also that actually hurt Jack. And Sarries win for sure at home. And there's Jack Lewis. And of course, Rob Valentini bumping off one. Still continuing to drive his way forward. Nick White now passing out the back line. Wide cut out pass. Low ball out to Tom Wright, who does continue to drive himself towards the line here. Going back once again, and also to the first kick, hit the post. The left post this game, unfortunately not, which was a shame. Nick Frost, he's over. And it's going to be Nick Frost who scores the try there for the Brumbies, and that will be their second of the match now. And that is going to be in the 37th minute. A brilliant time to bring up the try. But yeah, I was quite disappointed when that first kick went over, just because of the recent, I guess, kind of trend that we had seen. So all New Zealand games for today, 4 kickers in a row hit that left post, which is just weird as well. And also we've got there, did the first kick hit the left post? Oh, no, I read that one. And also we have got their try as well. Says Jack, and good morning from Johannesburg, South Africa. Says Rishi, welcome in. And the next game that we are covering, it is actually going to be from South Africa. And that will be the matchup between the Requas and also the Blue Bulls. So be sure to stay tuned for that one. That will be starting in 3 hours' time. And we will be live for that game. And then followed by the Gallagher Premiership. We're actually doing competitions from all around the world today. By the looks of it. And also try from Jack. And also come on, you Quins, says Sebastian there as well. But Nick Frost scores the try. Probably not a player that many would have predicted to score himself a try on this one. Super Rugby try for himself. His first ever. Currently now. Which is going to be this man, Noah Lodesio. I keep on forgetting names at the moment. I think it's because I got that many names going through my head at the moment that they keep on overlapping. It's like when someone was like, what do you think of Suliasi Vunivalu, or is he playing? And I was like, hang on, who's that? And I was on the Fijian Drua game, and I thought they were talking about a Fijian halfback. And then I realized that it was, of course, man out on the wing, and Tars is going to get points soon. They are relevant in this contest, says Image Choi, but that is now going to make the score up to 17 points to 6 here in favour of the Brumbies. Not what they would have been expecting here for the Waratahs. I think they would have liked to be a lot closer in this contest, that is for sure. Kick down to Tom Banks. Nice kick down field. 2 tries conceded. You can't take the 3 anymore. You really need to kick it for the corner. Exactly right. Also, if we were in 2008 right now, I would be 25. There says Henry Samuel. And also, Quins won't back up. Last session, you guys only won because Sarries win or was in the division below. There you go, eh? A little bit of fighting words between the two. I feel like it's going to be an interesting next game, isn't it? Hopefully you guys will be here for the 4 a.m. contest. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of banter going back and forth in that one. It's 2001. I said, how old are you now, Sam? And there says Yodomai's ducking underneath it there for Nick White. Looking for the offload. In fact, he didn't. He just kept on driving forward. It was almost a Valentini-like lead drive. Spending a lot of time training with him, perhaps. But now Darcy Swain drops the head. And now continues to get closer and closer to halftime. Now Alalatoa. Going forward. It looks like James Slipper will be allowed to return to the field. So he must have passed his HIA. So you're 38 now. And then there it says Gareth. But that one's going up in the air, taken beautifully by Alex Newsom, met by a big hit from Tom Banks, though, like 2 years old. And there says Sam, and now going out the back line. It's going to be nicely done, little brother. He's been smacked off the field. Jerome Brown jumps on that one on the halfway line. There's actually still time if they do want it here for the Brumbies to be able to get themselves one more. It's going to be a fair contest. Nick White searching for the ball underneath, and it is still available. I'll join the stream, but I have it on the TV myself, but we'll join in. And there says Jack. But yeah, it should be a very exciting contest because that's the thing. When I saw that game, we were talking about Premier League games that we might have been covering tonight. And we saw Chelsea versus Burnley. And I was like, okay, I'm going to tick that one on the list. And then I read the rest of the list that I had for what's going on in the world. And I was like, Saracens versus Leicester. How can I not do that game when it's the top of the table pretty much clash? Or it was at the time until the Harlequins were able to get themselves another win. And now they're quite going to the short side. It looks like they're just trying to stall a bit more time here for the Brumbies. It's stolen by the Waratahs, though, and that is not what they would have been after. Good pickup from Will Harris, who now continues to drive his way forward. Now bouncing back to some money. Nick White will kick this one into touch. Or does he? It almost doesn't find touch only. Just tell you what, that was almost a big mistake. And Nick White, he was nervous for that one. He thought maybe he hadn't quite found the touchline. Last season was the greatest for me. Queen's champions and Saracens wasting the season in the championship. My only regret is they left the championship. And that looks like Falau Fainga'a might be down at the moment with some sort of injury for himself. And also in 2008, I was born. And then in 2008, I was 11. Says your demise there as well. So yeah, I would have been about 9, wouldn't I? Somewhere around there. Also, Uncle Sam. And there says Gareth. But currently at halftime, we are sitting at 17 points to the Brumbies and 6 to the Waratahs at the moment. Pakistan, another milestone. It is Azhar Ali, who has been able to get himself 150 not out. Pakistan currently sitting 391 for 2 in that one. But we will be actually covering that game tomorrow. Day 3, Day 4, Day 5 on this channel. We are going to be doing all of it. This channel is odd. It is odd, but it's always fun. You never know what to expect. It's like a life and the box of chocolates reference from Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. Our Kiwi Lads chat is like a box of chocolates because you never know what you're going to get. Jenny. And also, what's your score prediction now after this half? I would say Brumbies 40, Waratahs 18 as well. But I want both the Queensland series in the top 4 in playoffs. Maybe the best team win. Leicester most likely. And also we've got the Sam in this chat. Hey, you are the odd one. And also may the best team win. And there from Sebastian as well. And Munster will eat Leinster. Nice. I feel like that's the thing. It's coming up soon, isn't it? For the URC. And what's your profile pitch? Looks a bit esoteric. How do you say esoteric? No, I don't want to translate it to Arabic or German. No, don't okay. She's not going to help me out here. Unfortunately, I still got to. Thank you. Are you guys one of those guys who do normally say thank you? Sorry, probably not. Brumbies 32, Tars 26 in there. And Devilish Evil Demon, whatever you want to call it, as well, says your demise. And also Posh Word Malfunction. And there's always one, isn't it? And it's exactly what you see. And there says your demise to that one. But currently now Nick Frost and also Rob Valentini, the only 2 try scorers in that first half. And the Brumbies were able to get both of them. And they were doing very nicely for themselves in that first half. I will quickly go to match stats and let you guys know exactly how we sit. That's got to be wrong. Okay, that's better. Waratahs 146 meters carried so far, and compared to the Brumbies 71, but the Brumbies have got the 2 tries to the nil, so that is something that they won't be too keen on seeing on the board. The Waratahs, the fact that they have actually been doing better with the defenders being in the clean breaks, and they are still not able to get over the try line at this point in time. They were close a couple times, but just short. Waratahs have had to make 60, or in fact 70 tackles, missing 7, and then the defensive side of it for the Brumbies. They've actually missed 9 tackles down. Brumbies 20 and 22 to the Waratahs. Liking it. Maybe it could be an upset and a half here on themselves. We'll have to wait and see. I'm actually going to check the odds as we currently sit. It's a good indication of where, I guess, the public and also how the TAB are looking at this game currently. But so far, 5 penalties against the Waratahs, 4 against the Brumbies as well. And also I watch Bella Porsche videos and pictures at night with one hand on the phone and one hand working. That way I sleep so well at night. And now I think Tars give away too many penalties to win this game, says Jack. Although they were a little bit better after the first little while. They were giving away quite a few in the early stages. I've just realized 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, Jorge Masvidal is going to be taking on Colby Covington, but we're going to be overlapping with the cricket. That should be a good game of cricket and a good fight in the UFC as well. So currently the Waratahs to win this game is paying $13 on the live odds. So that is quite a bit. It's probably not the number that they would have liked to be sitting on at this point in time. But the Waratahs, they are still, I guess that's the thing, they're still in with a shot. The Brumbies, they are paying exactly $1, so you're not getting any money for yourself if you do put money on the Brumbies for this game. But currently, I wonder how far away are we from another try coming up. Harry Johnson-Holmes, Angus Bell, maybe one of the props, and £22. Geez, that's a good odds. Like over there, it's a lot higher than it is over here, that is for sure. I don't know whether that's because like the New Zealand TAB don't give out money as, I guess, generously, or whether it's just that they really feel they've got no chance of getting themselves over the line. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got the second half of this game coming up extremely soon. The Brumbies getting a good start to this one, 17 points to 60. That's about $30 or more, says Jack. So yeah, it's certainly a big difference in terms of those odds between the two sides. I'm just going to have another couple looks at other stats to do with this game. We're going to get some player ones up and see what we can find for that one. Whoopsies, where'd that go? It's just disappeared. And now we go over here. Player stats. One moment. There we go. Who's that? He looks familiar. It's David Pocock. And also, I got called up for England in my goalkeeper FIFA career mode on FIFA. As Arnold's Waratahs over 12.5 or Brumbies over 28 at odds. It's a tricky one. So my options, so it's either the Waratahs to score more than 13 points, so that's a converted try, we'll say at the moment. Or is it 12.5 more points, Dean? Or is it 12.5 in general? Over 28 for the Brumbies, I would say you're good with. I would do that if you do want to, but only if you've got the money to actually be able to bet on it for them to score more than that. I feel like the TAB in New Zealand's probably got the Brumbies like more than 40 points or something like that. And also I got called up for England. I know I read that one. And also, yes, Gumby's leading. And in total, says Dean. Okay. So I would say both of those are slightly probable, but I would go more than likely the Brumbies to score 28 would be a better option out of those two, in my opinion, because they scored 17 in the first half, and I can see them scoring quite a few more in the second as well. I'm going to see whether or not we do have that on our New Zealand TAB. Alternative lines, I think that would be, wouldn't it? Is it the point start? No, I don't even know how to use an app for the TAB. The Brumbies to win by 10? No, that's not the question, is it? And called up in a video game. And there it says JAs. It's a hard one to do. Like, that's the thing. We made it to the All Blacks on Rugby Challenge 4. And then, unfortunately, like, they skipped the World Cup. They didn't let us take part. So that was unfortunate. And also, I'm sad because the Hurricanes aren't playing at Suncorp this year, says Morecake. So hopefully we do get to see some games at Suncorp, though, with New Zealand versus Australia and Brumbies to win 10 plus. Would you say is likely? I backed the game for double money. I got to win by 10 or more. I'd say 10 points is probably doable here, and don't bet. Don't do drugs and don't drink. Don't speed young. Don't do all of that as well, says Xavier there. Very good advice. I just saw Sri Lanka currently batting, and they are trailing by 526 and just lost their first wicket in that game. And also, more cake, says Sam. But currently, I'm just checking to see whether or not we have got any other information for this game. They've actually got stats here, so we'll go through them. But currently, the leaders, Nick White has made the most meters almost for the Brumbies, other than Rob Valentini, did have 26. 61 meters carried for Jake Gordon. And then also 48 meters carried for Charlie Gamble. Had an absolutely phenomenal run forward for us. Our 10 tackles made by Gamble. We also got the turnover 110 for Hugh Sinclair as well. And then other than that, I mean, the tackle stats for the Brumbies, a little bit lackluster, but that's because they haven't had to make too many. 9 for Alan Alatoa there. As should I play for club or school? I get more games final series for club. I guess that's a good question because that would be in real life, wouldn't it? So I guess it's just up to you what one fits better with your schedule. Probably the better way of looking at it, more cake. But yeah, hopefully you make the right decision. If you don't make the right decision in terms of you want to do the other one later, don't worry about it too much. It's just one of those ones that you either end up falling in love with it or you won't. But if you want to go to the other one, I'm sure that you can a little bit later on as well. And that is my life advice. That's probably not the best life advice. I'll be honest, I'm not the best at advice. Really. And also I play for a club, but school makes you play for them, doesn't it? As on there says Xavier. So you guys probably know the Australian system a little bit better. As well, they are currently showing a few of the big hits that we've seen so far throughout the Super Rugby competition. And currently, I'm just listening to the commentary at the moment for one of the Stan Sport ones, Rugby 11. I don't think we've got it over here in New Zealand. I'll do club. And also, my mum said she brought Maxions. I can't find them. What are Maxions? Okay, do let me know. But currently, I mean, I should mention we have got a video with Maxi, the All Black, or ex-All Black, Norm Maxwell. It is coming up very soon. We did a nice special birthday Q&A for his birthday. It is currently his birthday now, but not quite in Spain. In fact, no, it would have just ticked over in Spain. It will be the morning. So who knows, maybe we'll see him pop in for one of the live streams later on. But I hope he's having a good birthday. Maxi Bonds. Ice creams. Okay, Maxi Bonds. I don't think I've heard of them. Unless are they the ones that are like vanilla ice cream dipped in chocolate? Kind of like a, what do they call them here? A chocolate bomb or something like that. And now Brumbies 26.5, which is a try and a penalty, which seems doable. And it says and also don't do drugs. What else am I going to do as well? It says Gareth there. Currently just waiting for the second half to get back underway, but we are keen to keep on getting a little bit more, I guess, real life content scattered throughout there, whether that's more videos with face cam. We've actually changed our rugby challenge ones a little bit as of late, how every video does now have a face cam rather than originally like a career mode wouldn't have one. So we tried to keep the face in that one. And also with the new area that we are going to be setting up, hopefully it does end up looking not too bad. Best life advice, it's always sunny when you're pissed. And when life gives you lemons, squeeze the juice into some size. Nice. I guess it's an interesting one there. There's probably some logic behind it. But currently now, they are just showing a KFC ad. And now I want KFC. I don't have KFC. I have some pizza in the freezer. But I had pizza yesterday, so I probably shouldn't have it. When's the Nugget Challenge as well, says Jay. It is coming up soon. I think Isaac hopefully will be down within the next month. He seems to be taking a while to kind of visit us down south because he's a couple hours up the road, but he's very keen to take part in the Nugget Challenge. So when me, George, Isaac, and then I assume Daniel will be there as well. So we'll be buying 200 nuggets for about 140 New Zealand dollars, which is impressive. That's right, RIP Shane Warne. And there says, the news this morning that he did pass away. It was a big one to take, definitely after, I guess people were just in the mornings kind of stage for Rod Marsh. Passed away just a little bit sooner in the 24 hours. And including Shane Warne, he actually had a post on his Instagram kind of showing a tweet that he sent. He was wishing the family of Rod Marsh the best. As well as our very good women cricket team beat Bangladesh. Good start to the World Cup as well. Very good start for them. Did England end up beating Australia in the end, or did Australia end up beating England? I assume Australia beat England, but I could be wrong there. I'm going to have a quick look and see how the table's sitting. I know that New Zealand are not near the top. Sadly, we did lose our first game up against the West Indies by 3 runs, and they did only need another 6 in the final over, so 6 from 6, and they managed to lose by the 3, and Australia won. This is Jack Lewis, so you're currently doing very nicely. And anyone who does want to know about international cricket that is going on for test matches, it is currently sitting with India. They were able to get 574 for 8 declared up against Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka sitting 50 for 1. Then at the moment in the game between Pakistan and Australia, it's day 2. It's tea at the moment, so another 2 hours left of the day. And Pakistan are sitting 394 for 2. I believe they will keep on batting throughout that final session. Maybe you send Australia in for the final hour, but other than that, we will get to cover that game from day 3 onwards. So tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we are going to be here and we are ready to go for some test match cricket, ladies and gentlemen. And also I have the best life advice. If Tupou is running at you, get out of the way for your safety. That's very good life advice. Now, if Taniela Tupou is running at you, I guess you've got yourself in a tricky pickle because, like, that's the thing. The man can also sidestep. So if you move to the side, you've got to make sure you really do a spin so he has no chance of being able to line you up. But currently we're just seeing a few of the highlights of that first half. Charlie Gamble, that man was phenomenal with the way that he was running. But currently 17 points to 6, the 2 tries for the Brumbies, and they were actually scored by Rob Valentini, followed by Nick Frost. Was able to score it in the 37th, just before we got to the start of the second half. And Bangladesh currently up against Afghanistan in the T20. They are sitting 10 overs down, 47 for 4, so not the best start to that match. The West Indies versus England, that will be starting in 3 days' time. Hopefully we can cover some of that commentary on the channel in the middle of the night. I really got to get my schedule sorted so that I know exactly what games we are covering when, and then I will try my best to let you guys know. I want to do some more football at some stage. Would be quite cool to do. Also the cricket, rugby league's just around the corner. Stephen Pettifetta had a great game. He did, and he nailed that last kick. And I mean, I said it before the kick. I wouldn't give it to Bowden. I'd give it to Pettifetta. Highest kicking percentage in the Bunnings NBC. You got to give it to the Taranaki representative, and he delivered right from the touchline. So I don't know. It looks like Noah Lolesio got a little bit of a cut underneath the left eye. So we currently look at him there. And now Brumbies, they will be kicking off from left to right here for the second half. And we are back underway. 40 more minutes left of Super Rugby Pacific round 3. And then we are already 3 rounds down, about a quarter of the way through the competition. Almost Shane Van Gisbergen is winning the race. Let's go. As says Aiden there, fired back into the pocket, and Ben Donaldson does kick it towards the touchline and does manage to find touch for that one as well. And currently the Waratahs, they're going to need a good second half here to have any chance of being able to work their way towards a win. It's going to be tricky, though, up against such a competent side in the Waratahs. Could you make a channel called Kiwi Lads Cricket and make this one Kiwi Lads Rugby Union? And there says Xavier, although normally I think the big thing is we've got Kiwi Lads Sport, which is going to be everything other than rugby and cricket type thing, such as football, rugby league, golf. No, we probably won't have golf on there. And Gatlin, on the other hand, says Sebastian, yeah, didn't quite nail that one. Although I know that there was a lot of pressure on Bryn Gatlin, but Josh Ioane also given away too many points in the early stages. I think he missed about 7 points worth of kicks. So that could have been a big difference in the game for them as well. But now it has some money in the midfield. Pearson nicely continuing to drive his way forward. As they end up getting driven down. Snooker could go snooker. Maybe would be fun. There we go. I think that would be good for the mess, wouldn't it? I'm in the World Cup for England. And in the group, we have Brazil, Ireland, and Russia. And that one now firing back. James Slipper, he's back out on the field after passing his HIA. But this is currently phase after phase here for the Brumbies. Just out from the opponent line. Good flat border for Laufaiga'a. Trying to get in there on the ball. Not able to turn it over now. Nola Alessio kicks it in behind. Annie Muirhead waits for it. No. Sets up nicely. And I think it was Faketi was able to grab onto it. Beach volleyball, you guys are very keen on that. That is for sure. Needs to be one of them. Guys wanted me to commentate pole dancing, but I don't know how I would do that in a way that's like, I mean, you'd just be like, oh, she's swinging upside down. She's spinning. She's spinning. Again, and what about Kiwi Lads Golf? And he says, Aiden, it has been an idea thrown around in the past. So perhaps once Isaac comes down, we will not just film a chicken nugget challenge, but also go and try and have some sort of Kiwi Lads Open. And now Muppet Wrestling and pole dancing, especially, he was already halfway through typing it. That stage, but Noel Alessio kicks it in behind. I don't know whether or not that did work quite the way that they wanted it to. Rob Valentini for Laufaiga'a, one-on-one down the wing. He's done just enough Ben Donaldson to literally get run over the top of. Rob Valentini drops it forward. And now inside of their own area here, it's going to be Tolu. Try and make his way forward, literally only inches away from their line. And Jake Gordon here will be passing it back across. Rob Valentini trying to slow them down, stop them from getting out from the in-goal area. Still trying to get a couple extra meters. Harris dragged down, nicely done here by the Brumbies to keep them really right there. Not many options for them other than to go for the box kick. He has got it right there for Jake Gordon, and it has gone into touch. Decent clearing kick. It's gone right up to the 22. From that angle that he did have, it certainly was not going to be easy for him to be able to get it down there. But it's a great set play. It was Jerome Brown. Then from there, Valentini got it. And then also for Laufaiga'a. No, man, I just think we should give women's sport a go as well. You know, equality and all that. And Sebastian, although to be fair, we are going to be doing the Women's Rugby World Cup. So I guess that's a note to look at. That man stayed down at the moment. I think it was Faketi took a hard knock. Now running forward. Lolesio. It's driven down one more time, going to the short side, drawing past here. Muirhead is stolen there by Newsom. He scores the try over the sideline for that one. And also, I mean, you're commentating on the PGA tour. As on there says Kiwi, also says Aiden. I mean, it could be a go. Although I guess it's probably quite hard to describe if you guys can't see the game. Who knows? Maybe I can get some sort of broadcasting rights to show the randomest competition around the world, like of some random sport that they don't actually televise that costs money to televise. Like, I mean, I was talking about the fact that I was doing like videos for this table tennis thing over in India. So who knows? Maybe they've got a contact that will be like, yeah, go on. You can just commentate our randomest table tennis league and you can actually show footage. I feel like that would be a lot of fun being able to show you guys the footage that we can see currently. The Waratahs trying to defend this one. Harry Johnson-Holmes goes straight through the middle, does end up dragging it down legally, and it's the scrum feed now for the Waratahs. Harry Johnson-Holmes going straight through. And what's going on in the game, please? It is going to be a scrum reset at this stage. They did end up dropping down. We've had a couple scrums. I think we've had two scrums and 2 lineouts, I think it is so far throughout the early stages of the second half. And we've only been going for 5 minutes, but currently another scrum reset. We are on, and also what's going on? Oh, no, I read that one. And also, yeah, women's rugby is nice, but it's not volleyball on the beach volleyball as well. So here's Sebastian there. Now the front row's going down here. Currently, Tunov's conceded 7 apiece. Handling errors more for the Waratahs with 5-3. And then total passes, the Brumbies actually having more with it sitting 78-54. Currently, Jake Gordon, he will have to make sure that he puts this one straight down the middle, and a good hook from Pariki might end up saving them from conceding another try. And also, we have got there, if you could port one foreign player to the All Blacks, who would it be? I'll go to Pont as well, says Minnie. It would be a very good option. Oh, okay. I'm thinking through. I'm trying to think of positions that we really like. Because, I mean, it would be nice having Dupont, but then with Aaron Smith, do we need Dupont as one of the big ones? And women's football soccer is so trash in there. Says Sam Henry. I mean, it's just the same as men's soccer. It's just the women doing it instead, I guess. But for me, I would say I'd either get a prop or a lock. Maybe Tyke Furlong or Taliela Tupou as our number 3. Be pretty awesome to have. Andrew Porter, I'll take him from Ireland in an instant. Straight away. And Dupont would be wasted. With Smith, totally agree. And there says Jack Lewis. So I would say, for me, probably I'd either take a prop or a lock. A Toje could be a good option for on the locking duo. Either that or Eben Etzebeth, maybe. You could go and just bring a little bit more physicality. Imagine him and also Brodie Retallick on the same team. That's scary, having that. It's bad enough with Etzebeth and Luke Diaga, but now if you're adding Brodie and there is Furlong as good, there's P. Schmitty. So, yeah, I feel like he would be a good option. Have him really kind of solidify our forward pack a little bit more. And if you're looking at the back line, I'd say you probably want a good centre, perhaps. And there's a great backline movement now out to Tom Wright. Down the wing, little chip and chase. He's kicked that one way too hard. Everyone needs well player of the year. And there's P. Schmitty. That is a good point. You can have Antoine Dupont for yourself. I'd say if I was doing it for Australia, I would pick Dupont. And maybe England, I'd go Dupont. I think those are the 2 sides that I would definitely select Dupont. But yeah, it's just with Aaron Smith there that makes me slightly more hesitant. I'm trying to think of who else could be a world-class player for the All Blacks if they did end up taking them. I feel like it's probably on that left wing side, maybe. And Kiwi centres are pretty good. I don't think that region needs too much improvement, says Sebastian. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of depth at the moment there. Definitely with Whainanga around the corner. Valentini offloads it back now. Nick White. One more. Irasamone with a bit of a step. Still going Irasamone. And he scores the try 48 minutes in. And that is going to be another one there for the Brumbies. He just kept stepping people. No one wanted to tackle him. And Irasamone's just beaten about 7 defenders in one go and scores himself his first try of this half now. Just brilliantly done. The Brumbies, they made that just almost not really out of nowhere, but they just kept on going and going and going. Valentini, brilliant offload. And then from there, Irasamone went past one, went past another, went past another, went past another, and ended up scoring the try. I think Jake Gordon got angry at someone for missing a tackle. He didn't exactly put in much of an effort. Stop the big man from going over. That was very nicely done from Irasamone. I don't know, maybe him and Goodhue in the midfield. I know that they were both together for their first 15 season. And also, it's not like the men league. Every goal is an own goal as well, says Henry Samuel. And also 3 tries and plays none. Or 3 tries, plays none. And I need to defend the bonus point now, says Sebastian. And yeah, they are in a bit of trouble here, the Waratahs. And this is probably, to be honest, this is a score that people would have been expecting for their first game, or sorry, their second game up against the Reds, but it was a lot closer than that. That one's gone over from Lolesio, and now the score 24 points to 6 here. But Ere Simone scores a try, got a big smile on his face as well. And 1 tonight, 1 in 2022, and 9 in his career. Now we are still waiting, see whether or not, also is 10 plus looking likely at the moment? Yes, it is. I'd say you're pretty safe with that one, if I'm not wrong, but I could be. But currently, I would say, I can't remember what I was going to say now. It's a little bit too high on that one. But the Brumbies, they certainly aren't finished attacking as of yet. But yeah, that game up against the Reds, it was a lot closer, I think was what I was saying. Maybe. I've got £500 on the Brumbies to win by 10 or more, to return a total of £1,000. And yeah, we do accept tips. Just put that out there. No, it's all right. But yeah, that will be a good one. I think you are safe at this stage, because even if the Waratahs score themselves another try, which they just won the penalty, if they do end up converting their try, it's still going to be 11 points different. I underestimated the Reds. My prediction was that Force will win that game. I never even considered a bonus point win for the Reds. I admit I was very much wrong. I was the same. I thought it was going to be as close as Super Rugby AU last year or the year before, when the Western Force did win that game. But then when you look at that one as well, like it was Oliver Fellow who got himself the hat trick, Thomas Corbelli, Domingo Miotti, but I still thought they were going to have that fighting spirit, definitely at home for that matchup. It just didn't quite work out for themselves, but I'm sure they'll fire back the Western Force. For me, I think they're in the top 8. To be honest, I think they're the 3rd Australian side that finish above the Waratahs and also the Rebels, and it's whether or not we see Moana Pacifica or Fijian Drive qualify a little bit higher. Why is this fly still here? It's just chilling out, and I can't catch it because I don't want to like well and truly swipe it, because it will look very violent. So I have to kind of like slowly go like that, and I keep on missing it. And Brumbies ready on the roll, or really on the roll season. Make sure they are indeed. Currently now the Waratahs, though, just out from the 22 of the Brumbies. Big hit there, and I believe it was Alan Alatoa was able to get straight on him. Jake Gordon now offloading it back. Now good offload to Harry Johnson-Holmes, continuing this backline movement for Kitty. Hanging on, trying to drive forward, but Jerome Brown able to drag him down now out the backline here. Pareki met by Simone. And has been able to wrestle him down. In fact, it was Ikatau a difficult couple of days in Australia with the cricket, says Bob Jobs. Yeah, like that's the thing. Everyone was mourning the death of Rod Marsh, and then the shock, like that Shane Warne also passing away, which was just like, yeah, it's a tough day for Australian cricket and a tough week, really. And also, do you think they should change the catching, or it's annoying when they jump because they know they can't get tackled, as well, says B. Schmitty. I feel like there's a couple of the laws that they will be looking, although I think that's the thing. They probably look at laws of being able to change them, maybe, but then they don't consider actually changing them. And also, we're going to bring out the fly spotter, and Shabon died. And this is Molkaki did indeed. And also, you agreed, we'll see the the Force in the playoffs. And that one, and you said you accept tips on this channel. I've got one for you, Saracens 10 plus. Oh, okay, Sebastian will not like that tip too much, I wouldn't think. Oh, okay, Jack. I don't know whether this means anything, but the fly, we were talking about Saracens, the fly landed on a letter on my keyboard. This is not even a joke, by the way. It landed on L. So does that mean the fly, this little fella here who keeps on flying around being annoying, is he predicting that maybe Saracens lose that game? I know it's like government stay inside. We get boost board, horse nose, to park, and skim boards. And there's more. Okay, there's going to be another penalty for the Brumbies. They could take the 3, but more than likely they will go for the corner here, I would think, and give Falau Fainga'a a bit of a go. And also, I know you meant financials on there. So here's that Jack Lewis. It's all right. Obstruction there. Now Tom Banks, he will be kicking for the corner now. And thanks for the live update, says Java Guru. No worries, mate. Our next game that we are doing is at 1:30 a.m. New Zealand time. So in 2.5 hours' time, we are going to be back, and that will be for the game between the Requas and also the Bulls, the Blue Bulls, for that one. And also, it's flooded last week And also, it's what the fly, he's lost his mind clearly, as us, Jack Lewis and Borthwick had done a good job at Leicester, or has done a good job at Leicester. Yeah, they've been going very well. Can someone decipher what Morkate just said? Cheers. I think it's something to do with going on the boogie boards and the skim boards as well. So pretty much just hitting on all the big waves of the water. And I had a pond at the bottom of the street. Okay, no, I haven't got that one though. At the bottom of the street, I think that might be. But now going through, nicely done. Darcy Swain steals it though. As much as the Ashes result upset me, I'm somewhat glad that these two legends got to see that series and brought them satisfaction in their later stage of their lives, says Sebastian. See, that's the other side of it. Like, Warren was 52. And the worst thing is, I think the story or like the news report is that I think it was one of his friends found him and he had the Pakistan versus Australia cricket game on the TV, which I think is kind of like, it's a rough one in that regard, because like now Australia in that game, like they are certainly going to have that little bit of extra fire, but they're in a very tough position to be able to go on. And it looks like he's had a bottle as on skimboarding at the park, and the floodwater with boogie board in the pond is at the bottom of the street. There's mock cake, and also gets boost ball hose dose as on there says Jays, but currently now 55 minutes through this game. Dave Parecki, I think it still is. Is it still Dave? I think it's still Dave. But Falau Fainga'a going off the field, and that is going to be Billy Pollard now, who will end up replacing him. Looks like his legs are hurting a little bit here for Falau Fainga'a. Currently a big opportunity for young Billy Pollard. I don't think he got too much of a game last week, if I'm not wrong. Making his way off, and also James Slipper off the field. That will be for Scott Seo now, but currently we are making our way closer and closer to the end of this match. Currently the Western Force are not playing, I should say. The Waratahs, they have got possession. It's going to be play on just for now. Now they've got the advantage here. I think we're getting old J. The slang that the youth use these days just flies over our heads. And then what time is the Bulls game? It is going to be 1:30 a.m. New Zealand time. But yeah, like even like I'm not very hip, I wouldn't say. Like the weird thing is I sit in my lounge on technology, but I don't think I'm very like technology savvy type thing. Like the things that work on my PC, I have no idea how they work. Like I got my PC because it had green lights, and I learned that the green lights can change color as well. My keyboard currently has a blue light flashing. I don't know why it's doing that, but it didn't used to do it, and I don't know how to fix it. So like I'm a technology, I guess I know more than average, but not a lot though. I was like, okay, says more cake, but now Dave Parecki going to be throwing in this one here. Straight to the back, taken nicely by Jed Holloway. And now the rolling maul for the Waratahs begins. They have been told to use it once. They weren't really going for it. Now it's starting to propel a little bit more. It's still the same one. It's going to be the advantage. Well, Darcy Swain straight through the middle. That was almost cynical. They might end up giving him a yellow card. I'll be back and see if I don't think it was slang. It'll sound like drunk talk as well. I'm only in my mid-20s. But the kids today are the whole new generation. We're not just not the same. The world moves too quickly, says Sebastian there. Currently, they are continuing to drive their way forward. I'm looking around for Angus Bell because he is going to be possibly the try scorer here. It's just my weird prediction. And Brumbies are legit this season. They're going very nice so far. Now, Parisi hit hard in that tackle. Still 15 out. Jake Gordon fires the flat ball. Now, Ben Donaldson straight through. Finds the off foot. Angus Bell scores it. I was very loud just then. I mean, how did I get that? Oh, it does. It was a great run. Ben Donaldson, like they're saying, he could have scored it himself. Instead, he offloaded it to Angus Bell, and he puts it down. I think that's the most surprised I've been on a live stream ever. How did that happen? Angus Bell, what are the likelinesses of him scoring a try at that moment? Probably like very, very slim. I should have put money on it. I keep on getting them like right, and I don't put money on them because I don't have money to put on them. And also we got there, you're an old soul, mate. And there says Gareth, but Angus Bell scores the try, and now the Waratahs back in this game a little bit more. I can't believe that. Currently, that one has gone over, and the score is now going to be 13 points to the Waratahs and 24 to the Brumbies now. Angus Bowey's been able to score the try, though. He'll be happy with that one, I would think. And also, we have got there, I was just looking at my nephew. You watch people do drawings on TikTok, and I was just thinking, you're a wanker, mate. Says Sebastian. See, that's the thing. Like, I haven't been on TikTok before other than when George is showing me TikTok. And I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like at times it's a good thing. Other times I feel like I'm missing all of the trends that are coming up. You're only odd when you're surrounded by 10-year-olds, says J.A.'s there. Don't know whether or not Tom Banks was completely in behind. Well, that one taken nicely. Finding the offload back to Jake Gordon now, who has kicked it in behind, and he just made my day. And there says Gareth. Now that one's going to be taken nicely by Noel Odisio and kicks it into touch. That one has found touch about 42 metres out. I can't believe that Angus Bell actually scored. Who else can I say is going to score? Next try scored by Jake Gordon. Let's make this one a contest. See how close we can get. But now Dave Parecki, he is still out on the field, and he's doing all right for himself here. Also, Andy Muirhead, he can get a try at some stage, surely. Is he still on the field? Yeah, he is. That one's going to be nicely done once again. Now, Jake Gordon goes off to Angus Bell. He just charges straight at Jerome Brown. I feel old around under 25s these days. Nice offload straight into the hands of Hugh Sinclair. Currently, the Waratahs are starting to turn around the momentum a little bit here. Will Harris continues to drive himself forward. Just a little bit more. Jed Holloway going back across. A nice tackle made almost on them. Going back now. Another step attempt. Did get wrestled down to the chalk there. Going back across. Harry Johnson-Holmes was involved there. Now Will Harrison going back. They have got Foketi. He didn't decide to use the man on the outside, or else he would have been well and truly isolated. And also, how old are you, Gareth? At 33. And there's Gareth there for Jay Hayes. See, that's the thing. 22 is the number that's on the back of Will Harrison's shirt. I've just realized as I was about to say it. Tom Banks dropping that ball. But like 22, like I'm going to be 30 soon. Like the years just fly by. And I would have got to see 2 more World Cups at that stage. And come on, Taz says Tefelo Medielli. Hopefully I'll pronounce that correctly about the Tars at the moment. They're going all right. Luke Raymer now making his way out onto the field and younger than me. And there says Jay. Looks like Angus Bell has got cramp, which is probably fair enough. The fact that he was the man who was in support for Ben Donaldson just makes it even that much more impressive, the fact that he's a loose head prop. And he was the first man in support, not a centre. Anyone along those lines? Sri Lanka currently sitting 2 wickets down for anyone who is curious about what is happening in that one, but that's going to be for Jerome Brown. Does go off the field. And currently Pakistan, they are sitting 411 for 2. And I believe they have got a little bit more time left of the second day. I'm just going to have a quick look. Sitting at 145 overs, so they've still got another 15 overs left. 15? No, you have do you have 90 in it? 90 in a day. So they've got another 35 overs left. They won't quite get through all that, I wouldn't think. And we got mates with 10-year-old kids. Oh, we got mates with 10-year-old kids in there, says Gareth. But now currently it is going to be 61 minutes through this game. Still 19 minutes left, and the difference in the two teams is only 11 points. And Gareth, my son, just turned 20. And there says Jay. Here you go. Does he also like sport and call people Muppets? Because that would be quite funny. Now, currently, I've got the cute Hamish. You want kids in the future, says Xavier. Maybe one day. I feel like at the moment, first step would be actually getting a girlfriend. Be a good start. That's a big hit there from Ikatel. Nick White got it back, but then straight away Charlie Gamble stealing it. And now Isaiah Parisi with another attacking run. Looks for the offload, taken nicely by Will Harris, who now goes up the middle. And currently getting closer and closer. He has been wrestled down to the chalk. Jake Gordon, I said that he would be the next one to score. And also Uncle Jay says Gareth. And also hello says Thomas. Welcome into the Livestream I. White cut out pass. Nicely taken. Quick hands now. Out to the number 14 for this one, which is pitch. Does go down. Gets up. Goes again. He drops it though. And now Nick White kicks it downfield. And that is going to be advantage over as it has not found touch. He used to play AFL and cricket. He works on the mines now and is into cars. And this is Jay Hayes. Fair enough. That's the thing. Cars for me, I have no idea what I'm doing with them. Like, even like a car, if I'm like getting told about a car, Charlie Gamble, he's quick. He's got pace. And he continues to drive his way forward. I believe that's Jed Holloway now. Got the ball in hand. Round the side there for Jake Gordon. Currently, the Waratahs getting closer and closer. Every time someone's trying to steal that ball, but every time the Waratahs just hang on a little bit longer. Parisi, now they're drawing pass out to Pitch, going for the corner. Big contact on him somehow, staying in the field of play. That is brilliantly done by Pitch. Now going back across, I think there was a massive contact for Andy Muirhead. And Donna's like, my second mum, I love her for everything she's done for me and everyone. And there says Aiden around the side there, Harry Johnson-Holmes. Sinclair looks like he wants to take on around the side of the breakdown. I'm wondering whether or not Jake Gordon, because I did say that he would end up getting a try here next. I don't think he'll take on the line, though. Dave Parecki around the side does get wrestled down around the side. Hughes Sinclair now getting closer. And now it's to go for Luke Raymer. Turns the ball over, wins the penalty for the Brumbies. And what country, Jay? And there's Gareth for that one. I believe Australia. I believe it would be Australia. And also, how's her bowling been going? When was the last time she bowled? She probably hasn't been bowling since you guys were last year. Or she might have gone on Thursday. I didn't really hear too much about that one. So maybe she didn't go on Thursday. And also, we've got there, Xavier, with a heap of emojis from Thomas there for that one. But I think she's got some bowling practice at some stage coming up soon. Who knows? Maybe that could be in the vlogs. If you guys are keen for some Kiwi Lab vlogs, let me know. Would you want it weekly or fortnightly that we do end up doing a vlog? That was high on pitch. And I think he actually ended up getting rocked big time by Noah Alessio for that tackle. I think because of that, he has stayed down. He didn't look too flash there, Josh Pitch, the way he kind of got the jiggly legs going for that one. But 64 minutes through at the moment. Nick White going off the field, and Ryan Lonergan will be replacing him. It looks like Angus Bell has also been through a bit of a battle out there on the field. He is being replaced. And that is going to be for more than likely, I believe that will be Tatira Faulkner. Jesse Mogg out on the field. That is for Andy Muirhead. Is now getting replaced. Here's our Nick White gives a thumbs up to the crowd. It's an appreciation of the support that they have been showing for this game at GIO Stadium. Hey, I made it back. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Now going to the front. Nope, not quite lining it up. That's going to be dragging down the player. That will be the advantage and the straight penalty. Not a good plan from the Waratahs player. And I think that would have been, who was that? It was the number 5 on this one, which is actually Max Douglas for this match. But now Tom Banks, he will be kicking this one for the touchline. Currently 15 minutes left between these two sides. And it's that big question, the dying question of will the Waratahs get themselves another try here? And also we have, who knows, Big R Sports. I think quite a few people. We did a podcast with him a little while ago. And also, hi, says LJ. And then that one, welcome into the live stream, mate. I hope you're doing fantastic. And currently we are sitting here at 65 minutes and another sub being made. So they're all making them around that 60 to 65 mark. And that will now be, I believe, Rowan Smith, who will be making his way out there. And Jesse Mogg also, like I mentioned, going out there for Andy Muir, Ryan Lonergan, nailed in the first tackle of him being on the field. Not exactly the happy welcome that you would have been after. And also we have got there Thomas No One Does, who's Big House Sports. And there says Jay. And also we have got there Peasy. And there says Thomas. Interesting. Taken very nicely by Parisi. And now continuing to make his way forward for the Waratahs. They can't really afford to kick this one away, but also they probably do need to. They're just outside of their own 22, so I don't think can get away with too much more of the attacking. I am quickly going to go like this. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well. We are going to go like this. And we are going to go like that as well. And also that. Sing songs has been asked there by Thomas, and everybody knows. And there, I was trying to work out what it was that he did end up putting there, Thomas, and it is sing songs for that one. There you go. I can't sing. Terrible singer. But now it will be Ben Donaldson just on the halfway line. We're looking for the touchline now. Trying to get extra meters. So far, second half, actually 4 penalties conceded for either side. like I mentioned, we will be covering all the games of Super Rugby next weekend as I've never heard of them. There as well, JAs, but we will go like this and we will go like that. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all the games that we have got next week. The one that's almost missing is Waratahs versus Western Force. We've got a rematch of the Blues versus Highlanders. That was the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman final. We've got a rematch of the Super Rugby Aotearoa final. The only thing that's missing is a Reds versus Brumbies game, but instead we do get the Fijian draw, but we will be covering all those games on the channel. I believe Tars shall close the score gap, and then because you don't watch him, JAs, and says Thomas. Currently now it is going to be 67 minutes into this game, and that was another save. That was Dave Parecki making his way. I was like, and also JAs, because you noob. And there says Thomas, I'd be careful if I was you winding up Jay Thomas, because he's got a little bit of something in the gas tank, I guess you could say. That sounded weird. And also we've got at least tells what he does. We might check him out. And there says Sebastian. Currently now Jake Gordon passing it back across field. Is going to be a good run forward from Carlo Tizzano. Once again with a strong carry, selling a dummy from Jake Gordon. Trying to snipe around the side of the breakdown. Still available for them. Luke Raymer not able to turn that one over. And guys, I dare you say that to me on Big channel. I love it as well. And this is Jay. Okay, it looks like Ryan Smith. It's another carry forward. They're not really making a huge amount of meters here for the Waratahs. Sebastian Buller, as on there says Thomas. Currently, it's a penalty to the Brumbies once again, and they just shut it down just before they do end up getting towards that 5-meter line. But we will go like this, and we will go like that as well. There we go. It is updating again, but it was in the end. Carlo Tizzano does get penalised for that one for sealing off. Just the last thing the Waratahs wanted in that situation with them being so close to an attacking opportunity. What happens here? Okay. Oh, that's a little bit rough for Carlo Tizzano. I assume it's because that knee went down that then counts as sealing off on Sunday. Tomorrow, yes, it is indeed for that one, but currently there's going to be 2 more subs being made. I believe that will be, I want to say it's going to be Chris Foy Saltia, and then also Ed Kennedy. And Buller, what kind of content does the Speak Out Sports do? Is he any good? And there says Thomas, says Sebastian to Thomas there, need of 3 points. Only came on any team, says Shafiq. So you do have a certain amount of points, I assume, on the matchup. So that will be, you need, I assume, 40 points in this game. Will you be doing the Women's New Zealand Super Rugby games during the week? I will be doing the ones on Thursday, hopefully, as long as I do end up, I guess, learning enough about the sides. It's actually the 3rd wicket down for Pakistan. Manas Labuschagne getting the run out on Baba Azam, and it is 37 of 82 that he was dismissed for. But Australia still need a lot more wickets than that to be able to get themselves in a good position. Dying back on, 12 minutes left. This one is going to be throwing it right to the back. Taking nicely. Kennedy now out on the field. Darcy's playing. That man just got put down. And I say he's great. He's from Aussie as well. And there says Thomas. Now going to be driving their way forward. Taken nicely by Ryan Lonergan. Oh, that player's been wrestled down. It's a penalty to the Brumbies. Hugh Sinclair. I think he was wanting to go up for it. And Tom Wright. And then we're right in the same area. I think he's saying, and Pakistan may as well just bet the whole 5 days. They could try to see how it goes. I know that they're at least going to bet these 2, I would think. And then from there, they'll see if they can bowl out the Aussies twice in the last 3 days and maybe chase down whatever they need. After that, it's still not going to be too easy for them, but we are covering that test match from day 3 onwards. So that will be 6 p.m. tomorrow night. We will be doing the 7-hour live stream. 6 p.m. the next night, 7-hour live stream. So we might even have my mother with me and JA's ag. Okay. And there, as says Thomas. Now it is going to be another change being made. That will be Jack Grant now making his way out onto here. Oh, in fact, it's actually going to be Langy Gleeson. They've changed the number. He was going to be number 20 for this match, but now 19. That is for Max Douglas, who has had to put in a big shift out there on the field. His legs are looking pretty tender currently, but he's worked hard for his side, and now looks like he's limping his way towards the bench. This man's a dangerous individual, though, for Langy Gleeson. And also, I'll check it out tomorrow. Will you be there? Says it, Jay Hayes. Currently now going off the field as well. It is going to be Nick Frost, the try scoring. Yep, says Thomas. Which one's that for, Jay? What one's happening tomorrow? Do let me know. Well, I guess Thomas, actually. What game? And then I'll say an Aussie Nice. And what kind of sports does he go? I assume he makes sports content in there, says Sebastian. Currently now throwing it to the back. Valetini now passing this one back. Ryan Lonergan going off to Scott Seo now. Going to be another advantage here for the Brumbies. That's big contact, and one of the Waratahs players has stayed down. And ATV Women's Rugby sucks as well. Says Thomas, I'm going to be doing the live streams for it. I feel like, it might not be so much the rugby. It might be more your mindset. Have you ever thought about it that way? Two Thomas, let's see how long you last there, eh? As us says, that one. That one's going to be low. Taking out the player. They're going to take on the 3 points here, the Brumbies, which will give them a 14-point lead. And Shane won the race. Everyone. And Hamish, who are you supporting in the New Zealand Super Rugby comp? Says Aiden. So overall, the Crusaders are going to be a hard side to beat. That is for sure. And go get them tomorrow. And there says Betty Wagon to Jay. Currently 5 penalties in the last little while. And the Waratahs, they do just end up conceding penalty after penalty. Said he wasn't wrapping the arms. I think he just went a bit too low for himself. Alex Newsom, he saw him charging straight at him. Yeah, no, he kind of just dropped the shoulder into the knee. Became a speed bump. Not allowed to do that. You got to wrap the arms. Jake Gordon now getting patched up, and Sebastian Grammer does a rugby, soccer, basketball, and hockey. Yeah, there you go. I feel like this is pretty much like a sponsored deal, isn't it? I feel like I also said it to Ram Ranch. Nah, I'm not that evil as well, says Jay. Really? Depends on what happens. I feel like maybe like that spanner will be intimidating, I would think. Says Betty Wagon. Well, that one, but now the score after 71 and a half minutes, 26 points to the Brumbies and 13 for the Waratahs. Or in fact, it's 27 points, in fact. I think someone clicked on the wrong button. Said that it was only the 26, but now it's 27. And also, I think women's tennis, the best standard they would thrash most men. Says P. Schmitty. And also we have got there Gawi or Ioi. I think it is. And also any other games on tonight, Amish says J. Hayes. We have got the Curry Cup in 2 hours' time. That is going to be between the Requas and the Blue Bulls. And then it is first versus third in the Gallagher Premiership at 4 a.m. We'll be covering the game between Saracens and Leicester Tigers. It's going to be an exciting one. And should be hopefully as close as the last time those two sides met. And hockey, I love hockey. Used to play quite a bit myself. Hopefully he does a hockey every week. I miss it. As well, says Sebastian there. I feel like I should be a voice actor now. It's going, oh, that was too high. From Rob Valetini. Across his shoulder, I think Nick Berry said, so he's going to play on. Going to be all right. Now firing it back once again. Now first receiver, Donaldson. We're going to yawn. Looks like a curry cup, love a good curry. Some entertaining. And that was a weird voice on that. Some decent rugby over there, but more it will be the banter in the chat that I think will definitely be kicking off. Definitely in the middle of the night, Ben Donaldson doing very nicely. Passes now off to Will Harris. Can he get to the line? Yes, he can, Will Harris. And that is going to be 3 tries and at 3 in a row. You make me sick and weaker. And there as well. Weaker. This is Thomas. So not just weak, but also weaker after that. And me too. But you have to have it in a cup. And also other international players back for the UK game, says B. Schmitty. There's a few of the Saracens players back, I believe. Okay, they're going to be checking this one for Will Harris. Mawika. And there. Currently, we will go here. And we will go here. And I will quickly have a look through at the lineups. Because I know that Elliot Daly is back for the Gallagher Premiership game for Saracens. I think he's got the try. Will Harris, and that is a brilliant one to get for himself. Very nicely done. But we'll also keep you guys updated with the other games. Sean Maitland, he was not playing for England, never mind. Vunipola, he missed out, of course. The other Vunipola missed out. So, no. They haven't really, other than maybe George Ford at number 10 for Leicester, and then also Elliot Daly for Saracens. So they haven't got the likes of, who else? Mara Toja, he's not playing in this game. And the likes of anyone along those lines. So a couple players there. And also, we have got there, you Ding Mamis. My miss. You Ding Ting. You are darting my miss. Cheers. And I was Irish French fries or chips. I call them chips for myself, but Harris has been able to score that one very nicely into the corner. And currently we go like this, and we go like this. But Harris now 3 matches in a row, he has scored himself a try, and this game just gets a little bit closer. Only the 7 points difference between them now. Very nice to know, man. What happened to the Waratahs? Are they so pathetic? Now, my miss. And now, I got my miss, but it's just the rest of the sentence that wasn't quite there. And also, well, I had my fun. Off you piss. Oh, brutal, man. Sebastian, but sometimes it is for the best, of course. And also, I mean, what happened to the Waratahs is so pathetic now, although they're going all right now. They've scored themselves the try a little bit closer. They're sitting in 4th or 5th in the competition, I believe. It is, but now it'll be passed back across field. But 75 minutes into this game, only 5 minutes left, and it will be the Brumbies once again have themselves the line-out throw. Currently now, the bonus point is in favour of the Waratahs. So they are currently sitting with a bonus point, and there goes plus 10 as well. Don't worry. Still a little bit of time left and off to Ram Ranch. As I know, yep, sees that Betty wagon there, but now throwing it to the back, taken nicely by Billy Pollard. Waratahs taking it back. Okay, now that might be it out. But then it looks like it's going to be kicked downfield by Parisi. Instead now just continuing to drive his way forward. Ryan Lonergan straight on the ball. No, not able to turn it over. And so he's still going to do the Liverpool or Chelsea game tonight, says Hayden. So pretty much, oh, that's a good ball. Going back for the Waratahs. They had to retreat, and they are going back for the original scrum now. But the Chelsea game overlaps with Saracens versus Leicester. Top of the table. How did I forget them? So that will be the game that we are doing at that stage, just because I feel like with first versus 3, it doesn't get much bigger than that, other than, of course, first versus 2 in the Gallagher Premiership. So that will be 4 a.m. that game has taken place. We'll see how we go, but I might not have enough preparation time for Liverpool versus West Ham, so we'll probably more than likely do the Premier League tomorrow night. And so how does the bonus point system work? So pretty much it is 3 or more tries than your opponent, you get a bonus point. And also if you are within 7 of your opponent but you lose, you also get yourself 1 bonus point. It is 4 for the win. So there's a possible 5 points on offer for a team in a match. But the away side, I guess, or the team that lose theoretically can actually get themselves 2 points, but more than likely they get themselves 1. Because if you score 3 or more tries than your opponent, but you still lose, that's how you know you've had a bad game. Currently, Nick Berry, he's getting a bit annoyed with the front rowers for this matchup. Get your feet up underneath you. It's a comment from Nick Berry for that one. But currently 3 minutes left in this one. The Brumbies, if they get themselves a penalty and kick for the 3, does it have to be more than 10 or can it be 10? Jack, do let me know. Is it like 10 or plus, or is it 10 plus, so it's got to be 11? Because that will be a big game changer for you, Bears. It's gone down the front road. Penalty to the Waratahs. Now, 2.5 minutes left within 7 for the losing bonus point everywhere in the world except the top 14 in France. We need to be within 5 points of 10 or more. Okay, so 10 or more, hopefully you will still be slightly all right, although now the Waratahs going to be driving, but ain't going to happen anyway. You never know. You never know. You never know. Because they might decide the Brumbies, he looks like he's been through a battle. Jake Gordon, his nose is busted up. He's got a bandage on his head. And he is still hoping that the Waratahs can get themselves towards a draw. Imagine if we go to golden point time here. That would just mean that I have to eat my tea a little bit quicker before the Curry Cup contest. No, I should still have plenty of time. This game, theoretically, at the latest, will finish at like 12 if we went to golden point. And then it would still give me an hour and a half. It's going to be taken nicely there. And once again, trying to drive their way forward. But if we aren't live for the Curry Cup game, penalty to the Brumbies. If we aren't live for the Curry Cup game, we will still be live for the Gallagher Premiership game between Saracens and Leicester. That one is a guarantee. But it's just whether or not the tea is ready and also whether or not my voice still exists well enough to be able to do the next one. But I'm excited for the next hour and a half. I've got a little bit of time to edit, eat food, and also not look at bright lights. Here you go. Now it will be Tom Banks. We're kicking this one for the touchline. They've still got a minute left. If Tom Banks gets some good distance on it, they're going to be just out from their own 22. If the Requas beat the Bulls, it will be a massive upset. It certainly would be. And we will get to see it live on the channel if it does take place. But Nick Way was very happy with that one. And now the Brumbies, They are currently sitting only a little bit out. Did Fiji and Draw win 66-5? And there says Atish, not quite 66-5 in their game, but they did end up winning. One moment, I'll get you the exact score for that game. They ended up winning it 31-26. The Waratahs have got this ball back now, continuing to drive their way forward. I think if the Brumbies get this ball, they will probably more than likely kick it out because it seems like there's just too much power coming back at them for the Waratahs. Still going to be available for them once again. Tazano fires it back now. Perezi looked like he was going to be kicking it, but instead now trying to step around. Can they get the turnover? If they get the turnover, Jack might be able to get himself paid. Geez, this is big pressure on them, isn't it? Now firing the ball back. We're up to 80 minutes now. That is the siren sounding. Now popping back up. I think that's the number 26. They can't make their way too much further up the field. And it would make day as well. And there says Antoinette. And also, am I the only one thinking that Aiden's got an idea into that one? And is that for the Liverpool and Chelsea one? Oh, no, the Greek was versus the Bulls one and also the Fijiana women's side. Says Atish, Fijiana women's, I know that they really dominated their game. One moment, I'll find you the info that you are after. I think I have to go to next. There it is. Right, one moment. It is about to come up. And now Ben Donaldson driving his way towards the halfway line. Yes, they did win 66-5, the Fijian women's side. They were able to do very nicely. So 2 wins for Fijiana and Fiji draw. And that one, and also I predicted a 7 points, 33-26 win for the Brumbies to get out. So it's easy, mate. Choice. They're going to be extremely close for that one. Hi, Amish. And there is our welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. And also, we have got about the Griquas versus Bulls, but that game is going to be starting in only 2 hours or so's time, actually less than 2 hours' time. I believe it's a 1:30 start. I'm just going to make sure that I've got the right time for that one. But currently, the Waratahs, they are still going back and forth. Yeah, 1 hour, 51 minutes till that one. And go Fiji, boy. And then said the Tish, it has been absolutely awesome. The way he said it sounds like he can't resist it. You know what I mean? I do know what you mean, and I hope that that is not the case, because or else then it's going to be a hard game to pick. And also, Malaboro, thanks for your time, Moose. Every game, brother, as well. May the best team win. See you next week, and have a great night. Take some hot coffee and stay blessed. And that's gone into touch. And that is going to be the end of this matchup now. 27 points to the Brumbies and 10 to the Waratahs. And also thank you, Amish, CC Joy, for that one. And no worries at all, mate. We got 2 more a little bit later on. What the hell is he thinking going to the touchline? Yeah, it wasn't the best plan, unfortunately, there for them. And Andy Muirhead, very happy with that performance from his side. Great finish, says Xavier. But the Brumbies, they get themselves the 4 points. The Waratahs, they get themselves 1 point here. So they move up onto 7 now for the overall standings. I love everyone here. And then there says MH Joy. I'm sure the feeling for them is mutual as well. And also here there, cheers, says Jay Hayes. No worries, mate. And we are going to be back with plenty more rugby later on tonight. The voice is starting to sound a little bit, but it's going to be all right. I'll give it a little bit of watering, and she'll be all good for 1:30 a.m. If not 1:30 a.m., if I get close to that one and I'm like, oh, the voice still sounds shocking, I will end up instead doing the Saracens in their game. Benetton play Leinster. That's a big game. But they aren't actually showing it here in New Zealand, unfortunately, which is weird. And great dedication from you. Have a blessed night as well, says Neville Singh. So we will see you later on. What is your opinion of Fiji and draw versus Crusaders? Says Atish. Currently, as it sits, I would say Crusaders win it. But the only reason I say that is because Fiji and draw are very new. They've only had 3 games of rugby. It's going to be near the end of the season, though, that they play. So who knows? Maybe it will be a lot closer. We saw Moana Pacifica push the Crusaders and keep your voice. Says MH there. And also, cheers, Thomas. And this is JA's and Annalise. I do appreciate you all being here. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And we will see you all a little bit later on in the evening. I don't think Jamie Roberts really got much of a run around in this game either. They don't seem to want to play him at this point. And Warm Lemon about of salt, honey, help Amish, says MH Troy. So I will take that advice. We'll go see what I can find. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We'll see you all a little bit later on, and I will see you all for the next one.